is a presentation of WGN Sports.
It is a beautiful afternoon here in St. Louis, Missouri, and the Cubs and Cardinals will get settled in. A day-night doubleheader today, and we're set for Game 1 of this twin bill as the Cubs and the Cardinals play Game 2 of this series here on WGN Sports. And checking in on the updated standings in the National League Central, the Cubs lead is now a game and a half. The Brewers lost to the Cincinnati Reds last night. They'll play a little bit later on. The Cardinals have now dropped 8 in a row, and they're 6 back. And welcome to Cubs baseball today alongside Bob Brentley. I'm Len Casper. What a wild finish last night. It was 2-1 going to the ninth, and the Cubs would win it by the final score of 5-3. And it's been a good month of September. The Cubs have now won 3 in a row.
Well, the Cubs are doing a lot of things well in the month of September. Probably the most important thing is finally the power surge. 21 home runs in the month. At this pace, this would be their best home run month of the season, and it could not have come at an absolutely better time.
Let's check in on some of the highlights from last night. The Cubs are hitting home runs. Cliff Floyd with the go-ahead blast, his third in 3 days out into the St. Louis bullpen. That followed an Albert Pujols game-tying home run, so it was 2-1 going to the ninth inning, and you love the insurance. Darrell Ward with a big hit.
Tony La Russa really forced Lou Pinella's hand whether to leave Zambrano in to hit for himself with the bases loaded or to go to Darrell Ward. He went to Darrell Ward, and Darrell Ward made it stand up in a big way.
So it's 5-1 to the bottom of the ninth, and a non-save spot for Ryan Dempster. And Bob, he was just trying to get ahead, and unfortunately it cost him.
Yeah, with a 4-run lead, his job there is to throw strikes, hopefully get the Cardinals to put the ball in play at some of his defenders. Unfortunately, the Edmonds home run cleared everybody, and Ryan Ludwig also with the home run.
Bob Howery came on and bailed out Dempster. Ryan Theriot on a tricky bounce. The bases were loaded at the time, but no problem. And style points really don't matter at this point in September. All that matters, results.
Yeah, and you see the numbers here at Busch Stadium. I don't think this is so much a factor of the stadium itself. It's a fact that the Cardinals are dinged up. They're not playing well, and the Cubs are playing with a lot of confidence right now.
How about Carlos Zambrano? His last 2 starts have been on the road, and 2 of his best starts of the year.
And once again, like the power from the offense, it couldn't come at a better time. We know Carlos is very emotional. He rides that roller coaster all summer long, but he seems to be in a very comfortable seat in the roller coaster right now.
All right, the Cubs just push ahead. It's the first of a day-night doubleheader today. A lot of Cub fans here in St. Louis. We'll talk about today's starting pitchers when we come back.
And here come our River Dogs!
Team spirit, beer, and intrigue kick off the new hockey season.
I'm here to see if you'd be interested in playing golf for the Saints.
I'm a dog true to the core. What makes you think?
Unlimited bar tab.
I'm listening.
Oh, and the River Dogs still don't have a coach.
You don't have a coach. You need a coach. I can coach.
A lot of teams have them now, even in the NHL.
Well, practicing is good in theory. In reality, it just tires us out.
Who's your mommy?
Corner Gas. Sneak peek today at 4 Eastern.
Think back to the best beer you've ever had. Now, get ready to top it. Fresh Budweiser served on draft. No other beer is this fresh. And the taste, just as the brewmaster intended. Will it be your best beer ever? I say we find out. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
Fred Flintstone, an employee of Slate Rock Gravel Company. His wife, Wilma, a stay-at-home mom. Yet on this working man's salary, how did Wilma afford a necklace made of huge rocks?
Mr. Slate pays well, but he doesn't pay that well.
An investigation would reveal that Fred had the Flintmobile insured with Geico, saving the couple untold amounts of money. Their friendship with the Rubbles would soon become strained.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Hey, Cubs fans, keep your eye on the ball. Every time a Cubs player hits a homer at Wrigley, you could be a winner. It's the Southwest Airlines How Far Did It Fly Home Run Contest. After every Cubs homer, write down the distance along with your name and address and send it to WGN TV. 10 winners will receive 2 round-trip tickets to any Southwest Airlines destination. For every Cubs homer, ask yourself, how far did it fly? from Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the Chicago Cubs.
Welcome back to Busch Stadium. It's the first of two. Game 2 will be later tonight as the Cubs taking on the Cardinals, and 3 to go in this season series. The Cubs have already clinched the season set, winning 9 of the first 13, and one of those wins came from Ted Lilly on Monday at Wrigley Field.
Yeah, Ted Lilly was really good on Monday. Went 7 strong innings, struck out 7 Cardinal hitters, didn't walk a batter, gave up 5 hits, scattered those out over 7 innings. He was really good. We need to see that again today.
Tony La Russa reconfigured his rotation. It was Adam Wainwright last night and Braden Looper, who likes pitching in the daytime.
Well, he's 7-1 with a 1.74 ERA in the daytime. That leads all the majors. The ERA does. You see what he did his last time out against Arizona. Got banged around pretty good. All
right, should be fun. Lilly and Looper on the mound. Cubs and the Cardinals, one of the great rivalries in all of sports, continues today. We'll have all the action coming up next.
Thanks, folks. I gotta get going. Cindy, keep my plane ready a little later. We're not finished yet. Cindy, I got stuck on a client call.
Cindy, something else just came up.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Cindy.
Your plane is ready.
Thanks, Cindy. You're the best.
With so many convenient nonstop flights, you'll feel like you have your own company plane. You can count on Southwest Airlines to get you there on time with friendly customer service.
You are now free to move about the country.
Tommy.
Marco?
Looking good.
I thank you.
Love the jacket.
Do you?
Yes.
$90.
What?
Ooh, nice shoes.
$50.
I'm proud of you.
Love the hair.
Oh, yeah, my cousin does it. $20.
Very nice.
Nice tie.
Thanks for thinking my tie is nice.
What'd you spend on that?
$12.
Double cheeseburger, $1.
McDonald's melty, beefy double cheeseburger.
I'll give you $2.
3.
What, are you made of money?
Just one of the extravagant choices on the dollar menu. Are you a dollar millionaire?
Team spirit, beer, and intrigue kick off the new hockey season.
I'm here to see if you'd be interested in playing golf for the Saints.
I'm a dog through to the core. What makes you think?
Unlimited bar tab.
I'm listening.
Oh, and the River Dogs still don't have a coach.
You don't have a coach. You need a coach. I can coach.
A lot of teams have them now, even in the NHL.
Well, practicing is good in theory. In reality, it just tires us out.
Who's your mommy?
Corner Gas. Sneak peek today at 4 Eastern.
Chicago Cubs baseball, brought to you by Budweiser, the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Open up a world of taste. Your Chicagoland Dodge dealers. The Illinois Lottery. No matter how you play the Illinois Lottery. Have a ball. By Pepsi. Your world, your Pepsi. And by Southwest Airlines. Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, Southwest can get you there with over 3,000 nonstop daily flights to over 60 destinations. Visit southwest.com today.
A couple of superstars and National League All-Star teammates, Alfonso Soriano and Albert Pujols, getting set for a long day and night of Cubs and Cardinals baseball. What happened to summer?
It seemed like it disappeared overnight. Very comfortable evening here in St. Louis last night. Woke up to bright sunshine, walked out of the room figuring it was going to be in the mid-70s. It's a little chilly here today.
Last check, it was about 55 degrees. But as you said, sunny skies, should be a nice afternoon for baseball. As long as you're in the sun today, that's the key.
Well, I'll tell you, we joke about the cool weather, but for the players at this time of year, when physically and mentally you may start to succumb a little bit, to have these kind of temperatures really rejuvenates the body.
Well, Carlos Zambrano was rejuvenated. Last 2 starts, both coming on this trip. A win at Pittsburgh. And he almost went the distance last night. The only reason he came out was for a pinch hitter.
Well, physically, it certainly looked like he would be able to go 9 innings if Lou chose to go in that direction. But the opportunity presented itself to add some tack-on runs. He went to Darrell Ward, and Darrell Ward with a big bases-clearing double. Pinch hitting for Carlos Zambrano.
Kind of a wild ninth in Milwaukee, but the Reds held on by a run, and the Cubs lead now a game and a half. They're loose. Jones and DeRosa ready to go. Smiles all around as the Cubs have won 3 in a row and 5 out of 8 on this trip. And now Lou Pinella's Cubs lineup against Braden Looper and the Cardinals, brought to you by Pepsi. Your world, your Pepsi. Soriano leads it off. Ryan Theriot had a very tough 0 for 4 last night, including 3 lineouts. Derek Lee, Darrell Ward getting the start in right. We'll see Cliff Floyd likely in game 2. Jones in center. Aramis Ramirez on the bench. DeRosa moves to third. Giovanni Soto gets a rare start back of the plate. Mike Fontenot at second, and Ted Lilly, the pitcher.
And let's take a look at the Cardinals defensively. A couple of changes for Tony La Russa today. So Taguchi in left field. Jim Edmonds once again in center. Ryan Ludwig hit a big home run last night for the Cardinals, getting a start in right field. Miguel Cairo, Brendan Ryan, Aaron Miles, and Albert Pujols across the infield. Yadier Molina gunned down Alfonso Soriano tonight, bringing his percentage for the year to an even 50%, catching opposing base stealers, and he'll be catching the right-hander Braden Looper. We showed you Looper's numbers in day games this year. 7-1 with a 1.74 ERA in 9 day starts. He's 5-9 with an ERA of over 6 in 17 starts at night. So if you've got a choice, this is the game you want Braden Looper to pitch if you're Tony La Russa.
Now the umpires fielded Culbreth in his 11th year will work the plate in game 1. Adam Dowdy joining the crew to work first base. Schreiber at second. McClellan, who called balls and strikes last night, the crew chief at third. Kind of a late bus from the hotel today. No sense in getting here too early. Game 2 scheduled to start just after 7 p.m. tonight.
Only 2 players on the team bus. That team bus to the ballpark is really Ron Santo's limo is what it is. Ron Santo, Pat Hughes, myself, sometimes Jim Hendry, Corey Provis, Matt Bolts, but rarely do you see any players. Only a couple of guys on the team bus this morning.
And interestingly enough, Tim Buss not on that bus.
Never on the bus is Tim Buss.
Cubs strength and conditioning coach always gets here early. And Cub fans always want to show up early. They don't want to miss that first at bat by Soriano, who already has hit 8 leadoff home runs.
And first at bat many times is comprised of 1 pitch. So buckle up. Here we go.
Right-hander Braden Looper deals, swing and a miss. Strike 1. We are underway. Both these starters pitched better in the daytime, Looper and Lilly. When Ted takes the mound, he'll be looking for his 9th win in the daytime with a very nice 3.11 earned run average. .58 degrees, the game time temperature.
Kind of a hazy, partly cloudy day, but if the sun figures to factor into play, it would be for the guys on the left side of the field right now, judging from the shadows.
Called strike, 2-2. Two pitch, and he blew a fastball right by him at 90 miles an hour. Well, the reason the Cubs and Cardinals are playing a split doubleheader today, the game back in late April on the 29th was postponed after the death of reliever Josh Hancock. And we've got that number 32 out there you see on the left, Darryl Kyle, who died during the season a few years ago. And that was when the Cardinals were in Chicago playing the Cubs. 1 strike on Theriot. So this is the second makeup game in the season series. There was a rainout at Wrigley Field, and the Cubs beat St. Louis on Monday. Now 1-2. A big hang with him last night for Ryan Theriot. 3 of his outs were hard lineouts.
And I know you talked to Ryan before the ball game today. All he was concerned about was the fact the Cubs won.
Another hard hit ball, and this one will be an out. Ludwig with a catch. Yeah, he said, I don't mind if I go 0 for 50 as long as we win. And I know there's some concern about Ryan Dempster after what happened last night. And we could talk about that. I know Cub fans are talking about, you know, what do you do in the bullpen? But the bottom line is the Cubs won the game. Sounds like Lou's going to stick with Dempster as his closer for the time being. He does have other options if needed, and in fact he used another option to finish the ball game, Bob Howry.
With Ryan Dempster, we touched on it briefly earlier. With a 4-run lead in the 9th inning, his job is to come in and throw strikes. Ideally good low strikes with movement, get some easy ground balls, get 3 quick outs, and off we go. But bottom line is you don't want to stand out there and throw a lot of pitches, fall behind hitters. And from Ryan's experience in that inning, when I talked to him earlier this morning, he had the feeling that the Cardinals were all going to take a strike. It appeared that way to him. So unfortunately, he laid a first pitch strike in there to Ryan Ludwig for the 2nd home run that he gave up in that inning, and kind of crossed him up, maybe overthought it a little bit out there on the mound.
The 2-1 to Derek Lee, jammed him, but he'll end up with a base hit over the shortstop Ryan and in front of the left fielder Taguchi. That's his 4th hit in 13 at bats against Braden Looper, but it hasn't been all that comfortable. 6 strikeouts.
And Looper with a little bit of late tail right there. He doesn't really throw a hard sinker. His ball tails more than it sinks, and this one runs in on the hands of Derek Lee, but he's able to muscle it out there over Ryan at shortstop and in front of Taguchi in left field for a base hit.
Darrell Ward getting the start. Certainly due in part to the big pinch hit 3-run double in the 9th inning last night. But Lou also looks at the numbers, and he tries to put guys in the best possible position to succeed. And because Darrell Ward has been so good against the Cardinals, you might as well give him another start. 8 RBIs in 8 games against the Cardinals. He has 11 RBIs against everybody else, 19 total on the year. 7 of the 8 coming on 2 swings. The 3-run double last night and the grand slam at Wrigley Field earlier this year. Well, they're all must-wins for Tony La Russa's club now. They have lost 8 in a row. 6 games back. Outside. You know, back on the results conversation earlier this week, Lou was asked about the approach and all that stuff. He said, I don't care about the approach anymore. It's too late for approaches. I want results. Talk about the approach in the offseason.
Yeah, no kidding. Right now, Lou doesn't care if a guy stands on his head and hits the baseball. Just put it in play, get some results, drive in some runs.
So the Cubs with 76 wins, 71 losses. Milwaukee 2 games over. That's it. Everybody else is under 500. And the Cardinals are almost as close to last as they are to first. And just over a week ago, they had a shot to jump into first place. Man, things can change in a hurry. So here's Jock Jones after the 2-out single by Lee, and then the walk by Darrell Ward. Boy, early in the season, we saw a lot of daily averages in the 230s, 240s for Jock Jones, but coming in today at 274. He's had a terrific second half.
And Molina and Looper having a hard time getting on the same page here to Jock Jones. Ultimately, they decide on an off-speed pitch inside. Looked like a slider down and in. It's no secret around baseball that Jock Jones is a good opposite field hitter. Pitches up and out over the plate. He tends to drive the other way. So usually teams try to get ahead of him inside and then expand the zone away.
Bouncer right to Albert Pujols. Will tag the bag, and that's it for the Cubs. A lead to the Cardinals coming up against left-hander Ted Lilly when we return to St. Louis.
With convenient flights every day, Southwest Airlines gives you the freedom to do business out of town and still come home at night.
Winston, I'm home!
Fly one of Southwest's 11 daily nonstops from Chicago Midway to the San Francisco Bay Area for just $99, including new service to San Francisco International.
You are now free to move about the country.
You know how it goes. There's your love life. Then there's your life. That's why for guys like me with ED, there's Cialis. Cialis is the only erectile dysfunction tablet clinically proven to both go to work fast, and as little as 30 minutes for some men, and work up to 36 hours. With Cialis, I can have the option of being ready fast, or have up to 36 hours to relax, knowing I can be ready when the moment is finally right.
Tell your doctor about your medical conditions and all medications, and ask if you're healthy enough for sexual activity. Don't take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help if you experience priapism, an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease in vision, stop taking Cialis and call your doctor right away.
Why ask your doctor about Cialis?
Because life can be full of interruptions. When the moment is right, you can be ready with Cialis.
Cubs failed to score. They did leave a couple of runners in the top of the first. And let's check out the Cardinal lineup Ted Lilly will face today. Aaron Miles, So Taguchi, Albert Pujols with 5 homers his last 6 games against the Chicago Cubs. Ludwig hit a home run in the 9th. So did Jim Edmonds. Yadier Molina, the catcher. Miguel Cairo at third base. Looper hitting 8th. And Brendan Ryan, the shortstop, 9th.
And let's take a look at the Cubs defensively, brought to you by Pepsi, your world, your Pepsi. Soriano, Jones, and Ward across the outfield. The versatile Mark DeRosa getting the start at third base in game 1 of this split doubleheader. Ryan Theriot at short. Mike Fontenot started second base. Derek Lee over at first. Giovanni Soto doing the catching today for left-hander Ted Lilly.
He's trying to match Carlos Zambrano, who picked up his 16th win last night. Ted has already tied his career high with 15 wins. The switch hitting Aaron Miles looks at ball 2, 2-0. Z and Lilly, the only teammates in the National League to each have 15 wins. The 31 combined victories also leading the league. Next on the list, Brandon Webb and Doug Davis of the Diamondbacks with 29 combined. Easy ground ball for Theriot. And the leader in the major leagues on that list, Josh Beckett with 18, Tim Wakefield with 16. The Red Sox teammates with 34 combined wins.
Beckett in his 18 victories pitching for Boston today against New York, and Wang in his 18 victories. That ought to be a heck of a matchup.
Game last night took about 8 hours and 53 minutes to complete as the Yankees won. I think it was like the second longest 9-inning game in history, and the other one was a Yankees Red Sox game. Game last night was almost 5 hours. One and one on So Taguchi. He took Lilly deep at Wrigley Field on Monday. Pujols on deck. And a fly ball for Jock Jones in right center. 2 outs. 4 hours 43 minutes last night. at Fenway Park as the Yankees scored 6 times in the 8th inning to win 8-7. They're 4.5 out in the American League East and leading the wild card by 3.5.
Now we have 4 games here in St. Louis over the 3 days that we're here, and I'll probably say it before every ball game. This is the guy you cannot let beat you. He hit a game-tying home run against Carlos Zambrano in the ball game last night. Fortunately, Cliff Floyd came right back to give the Cubs the lead with a home run of his own. But given the depleted lineup, now granted, they're major league hitters and they're all capable of doing damage, but we've seen what Pujols can do. He doesn't need to prove anything else to the Cubs pitching staff. Be careful.
Well, the one thing Ted Lilly has done maybe better than anything else is win after Cubs losses. Now that is not the scenario today with the Cubs having won 3 in a row, but he has been their stopper. 9 wins and 10 decisions following a Cubs loss. His 2-1 pitch, a little bit off the outside corner. Working with Giovanni Soto today. It'll be Jason Kendall with Sean Marshall tonight. A strike. Colberth with the call, and the Pujols wasn't so sure. Guy who has a great idea of the strike zone thought that one missed a little high.
Well, we saw a similar pitch called a strike against Alfonso Soriano to lead off the ball game for the Cubs. Colberth calling that high strike at least through the early going here today.
So Lilly back in it, and a payoff pitch to Pujols toward the hole. Terrio can't get it.
Ryan Ludwig with a big home run last night for the Cardinals in that 9th inning. Came on to pinch hit for the pitcher spot. Picked on the first pitch from Ryan Dempster. Went the opposite way there. Got it a couple rows up into the bleachers. This guy's had 13 home runs on the season in limited playing time. He's definitely got some power. 251 at bats coming into play today. And unlike Cardinals teams past, you don't have to worry a lot about the running game. Ted Lilly usually neutralizes the running game over at first base. It's when he has runners at second that it becomes a little more of a risky proposition. He's very slow in his delivery to the plate with runners at second.
Cardinals with the fewest steals in the major leagues with just 46.
And they don't have a player in double digits. An individual player, David Eckstein, the closest. He's stolen 9 out of 10 attempts on the season. Not in the lineup again today.
There are 3 guys, there are 3 individual players in the National League who have as many or more stolen bases than the entire Cardinal ball club. Jose Reyes with 76. Juan Pierre with 58 and Hanley Ramirez with 46. Which matches a Cardinal total 3-0. Edmonds would hit next. And this half inning matching the top of the first. The number 3 hitter reaching on a single with 2 outs.
I'll tell you how times have changed. I saved this newspaper just because I saw this this little tidbit. The St. Louis Cardinals back in 1982 hit 67 homers as a team, but they stole 200 bases. That's back in the day when we used to call the Cardinals a track team, because they could run one hitter after another that could just burn around those bases. If they found a way to get on, they were going to be on third base in a matter of pitches. Vince Coleman and Ozzie Smith.
Pujols runs on a 3-2, and again, just like the Cubs, cleanup hitter walking. Here's Jim Edmonds. I would be curious to know, I'm sure someone could do the research, how deep into a ball game that this has occurred, where the visiting team and the home team did exactly the same thing. The same positions, getting hits and walks.
Well, I'm sure somebody can find out. It's not going to be me, but somebody I'm sure could look that up and tell us.
Well, you could tell me off the top of your head. Come on. Well, Jim Edmonds needs to make it out here. We'll have a mirror image. Top and the bottom of the first. Pujols trying to run, and it's hit foul by Edmonds. He got a good jump.
Oh. Boy, I am shocked that Jim Edmonds swung at that pitch. I mean, that's right in front of him. He sees the jump that Albert Pujols had off of second base. He was going to steal third base standing up on that play. You've got to take that pitch as a hitter. And I think Pujols did that on his own because Ryan Ludwig, the trail runner, never budged from first base.
Lilly ready. Nobody running this time. It's a strike. 1-2. Now, with Pujols running on that last pitch, does that play with a hitter's mind on the next one? Do you wonder if he did it that time, maybe he'll do it the next time? Well,
it depends on the history. I mean, Edmonds and Pujols have been in this situation many, many times over the course of the last couple of seasons. I'll tell you, that really surprised me to see Pujols take off. I mean, we just talked about it a little while ago. It's easier to steal third base than it is to steal second base against Ted Lilly. But normally with 2 outs in the inning and one of your RBI guys at the plate, you don't take that kind of a risk to try to steal third base with 2 outs in the inning. But apparently Pujols felt he had enough of a jump. It appeared he had enough of a jump, but Edmonds nullified it by swinging at the pitch and fouling it away.
There's a drive by Edmonds. Ward's going to play that ball off the wall, and it gets by him. And that's a lot of trouble. They're going to get 2 runs. Edmonds will hold with a double. So the ball getting past Ward didn't hurt him that much. They would have scored those runs anyway. RBIs 47 and 48 for Edmonds, and it's 2-0. And all this happening with 2 outs.
The second hit for Jim Edmonds against Ted Lilly in their respective careers. This one a top spin line drive. Looked like it was headed for the bleachers, but got out there near the warning track and really started to dive bomb. Hit about in the middle of the fence. Unfortunately, going back after the ball, Darryl got a little too close to the fence. Once you realize you're not going to be able to make that catch, you have to slam on the brakes, hold your ground, and back off of that wall to play the carom.
The Cardinals offense picking up where it left off in the 9th inning last night. They had 5 hits and scored 2 runs in the 9th after just 4 hits and 1 run in the first 8 innings, and the 1 run was on the Pujols solo homer.
And for Ted Lilly, that last pitch to Jim Edmonds, really the first time he came right down the middle of the plate. He's been working the corners well, keeping the ball down, elevating when he wants to here in the first inning, but that last pitch to Edmonds was right down the middle of the plate.
Molina looked at a very slow curve. It missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. Without a hit against Lilly, 0 for 10 in his career. Fastball catches the inside corner. High pitch inning, 28 already for Lilly. 5th start against the Cardinals this year. He's 2-2 with a 367. 3-2 lifetime in 5 starts with a solid 291. Out in front, he pulled it foul. Ted nearing his career high in innings pitched. 197 and a third in 04 with Toronto. He started the day 10 and a third shy of that. 12 strikeouts away from his career high in that department. Soriano over, not much room down that line.
Get down in both corners here at New Busch Stadium. There's very little room in foul territory. However, it's very fair behind home plate down both lines until you get down into the corners. Hitters probably don't like it so much. The pitchers appreciate all that foul territory.
Well, the hitters get enough as it is. In most ballparks, that is.
Well, that's a great argument. Sitting around the lobby bar some night with a bunch of pitchers and a bunch of hitters and start talking about who has the advantage. Boy, the pitchers will tell you everything is stacked against them, and then the hitters will say, yeah, but you can throw anything you want. You can throw 6 different pitches and then not tell me what's coming. I get 1 bat. I don't get to go to my curveball bat and my fastball bat, but you get to throw all these different pitches. It's really fun to hear the give and take.
Off the top of my head, I can't think over the last couple of decades anything that's developed in the game that has benefited pitchers versus hitters, except for maybe the slightly reconfigured strike zone where they started to, quote, call the high strike. That's really been about it. Swing and a miss. Molina lost his bat on that hack. Jim Edmonds with a 2-out 2-run double, and the Cardinals have the early advantage.
One day you find it's not business as usual. Your hair is gray, and you wonder, will people still see me as a valuable player? Is my career going down? How do you stop that?
Just for Men stops gray from hiding who you are. Easy with 5-minute target gray technology.
Now doors are opening, and you wonder, why did I ever put up with gray hair?
Let the real you come through. Stay in the game with Just for Men.
Right now, you can log on to eHarmony.com and review your matches all for free. Aren't you curious to see who you're compatible with? eHarmony.com. Log on today.
You can never have too many people on your side. Right there when you need them most. And now, 2 names committed to improving senior health are there for you too. Introducing AARP Medicare Complete, provided through Secure Horizons, the only Medicare Advantage plan with the AARP name on it. AARP and Secure Horizons are committed to seniors and all Medicare beneficiaries, and we'd like to send you a free educational guide, Medicare Advantage Explained. To get yours, call today. Together, we can help you get more from your Medicare benefits.
I've known Secure Horizons by United Healthcare for years. Medicare health plans are their specialty. And now with AARP, I'm expecting even better things to come.
I'll be at your side. There's no need to worry.
AARP Medicare Complete, provided through Secure Horizons. Call now for your free guide.
Superstation WGN is your home for Big League Baseball, so come on home.
Cardinals with 2 runs on the Jim Edmonds double, and it's 2-0 St. Louis. Mark DeRosa is playing third base here in game 1. Probably be at second in game 2. Called strike on him. 1 for 9 against Braden Looper. Looper in his first year as a starter. He's gone 12-10. This is his 28th start. This is Looper's 600th career appearance. Bounced foul by DeRosa. We've talked about all the adversity the Cardinals have faced and all the injuries. Yes, if there would be one criticism of their off-season maneuvering after winning the World Series, and Walt Jocketty has done a terrific job, is, you know, the starting rotation. They took some chances. Now, Adam Wainwright was a starter in the minor leagues, so that wasn't a huge deal that he went from the back end of the bullpen into the rotation. That has worked out well, and you would have to say Looper has held his own. But once Chris Carpenter got hurt, they were in big-time trouble.
It's tough when you lose your ace, the guy you're counting on for well over 200 innings pitched, 15 or more victories over the course of the season, and when that guy goes down and there's no logical candidate to step in and take his place in that rotation, it really puts a lot of stress on the other pitchers in the rotation.
They counted on Kip Wells. He has struggled. Anthony Reyes. They did not bring back Jeff Suppan. Jason Marquis went to the Cubs via free agency. Jeff Weaver left.
And as good as Looper has been this year, it really was a gamble. This guy made 572 consecutive relief appearances before the Cardinals decided to insert him into the starting rotation this year. This is his 600th career appearance, 572 of those in a row as a relief pitcher.
Yeah, the third most relief appearances in Major League history before his first start, behind Todd Jones and Chuck McElroy. Great at bat by DeRosa as he takes the walk.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN Sports from Anheuser-Busch Country is brought to you by Bud.TV, where entertainment is always on and only on www.bud.tv.
Great job with the WWWs this early. It's not easy to get that going this afternoon. That backed up Soto, 1 ball, no strikes, and Molina out to chat with his pitcher. Well, not only has Looper pitched well in the daytime, but he's been a lot better at home than on the road. 320 earned run average here, 633 on the road. Soto with his first career home run on Sunday in Pittsburgh. Called strike.
This is tough duty for a guy like Giovanni Soto, who was the Pacific Coast League most valuable player, getting regular at bats all summer long. You come up to the major league level and get a sporadic start or a pinch hit appearance here or there, and it's really tough for guys like Giovanni to maintain that rhythm that they had.
What were you saying?
Or not.
That's deep, and it's off the wall. Taguchi having problems with it. DeRosa's going to hold it. Third base. Cubs are in business. Second and third with nobody out. Well, your point is well taken, and I think it tells you a lot about how good a year Soto has had, that he's been able to somewhat maintain his consistency even though he hasn't played a lot.
Well, I know he's worked very hard in the cage with Gerald Perry, making sure to get his swings in every day, but facing good live game pitching when you're only up there maybe once or twice a week to get consistent at bats against big league pitching, it's not an easy thing to do. Giovanni makes it look easy on that at bat.
Well, he's now 6 for his last 10 as a starter. This is his 5th start in the big leagues this year. They're going to bring Cairo in at third. Pujols also in a few steps. They are back up the middle against Mike Fontenot. Second and third, no outs.
We had a great shot. Giovanni looking over at Mike Quaddy, kind of questioning. He wanted to know, what are we going to do with Mark DeRosa at third base? Is he going on contact? Are we making the ball get through? The runner at second base has to know what the runner at third base is going to do in this situation. And I'm sure Mike Quaddy has a very specific sign for that, to let Soto know that if indeed Mike Fontenot makes contact, we're going to send Mark DeRosa from third base, of course on a ground ball, or we're going to make that ball get through into the outfield before he goes.
Edmonds coming over. DeRosa's tagging. Edmonds is just going to lob it back in toward third base, and it's a sac fly for Fontenot, 2-1.
Pat on the back from Mark DeRosa to Mike Fontenot. Nice job right there. Got a pitch up in the zone. He knew he could lift in the air to the outfield. It's tempting to be a little greedy as a hitter in that situation. You see a couple of your teammates out there in scoring position. You'd like to drive them both in and tie the ball game up, but you still have to have a game plan in that at bat. Nice job by Mike Fontenot.
Ted Lilly has made some very good strides at the plate. He's only hitting a .147, but early on in the season, looked like it took him some time to get comfortable back in the National League. He has 5 RBIs and a double.
Now, his numbers don't truly reflect how far he's come since spring training. He was pretty much an automatic out early in the season. Stepped in the bucket. Didn't look like he was willing to stick his nose in there and get a good look at the pitch. He said right away that's one thing he wanted to really work on, was be a complete National League pitcher, be able to do all the other things necessary to keep him in a ball game.
Swing and a miss. Well, you have to give Ivan De Jesus a lot of credit for the Cubs pitchers and their hitting prowess. Ivan works with them on their hitting and their bunting.
Yeah, not always an easy thing to get a pitcher to work on other aspects of the game, but if you present it to him in a way that it'll keep you in a ball game, if we happen to be trailing by a run or two and you can get a bunt down, the skipper's more likely to leave you in a ball game and give you an opportunity to go back out to the mound, and hopefully your team scores some runs. You end up getting a victory. If you can't bunt, if you can't put the ball in play, and you can't field your position, chances are you're going to get the quick hook a lot more often than a guy who can do those other things.
It'd be hard-pressed to find another starting staff. Now, I'm not including Steve Traxel, who recently jumped into the rotation, but for most of the year, basically all left-handed hitters. You have a switch hitter in Zambrano. Marquis bats from the left side, and then Lilly, Marshall, and Hill. Two strikes the count. 2-1 St. Louis early on. Edmonds is going to drift, and he has it. First two reached. Fontenot with a sacrifice fly. It's 2-1 to the bottom of the second.
What makes the world's perfect beer? Start with the choicest hops and the best barley malt. Then Beechwood age it for that crisp, clean taste. Finally, throw in a football and 60,000 friends. A taste that makes it game day. The perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
Hungry for a real breakfast? Have one during the week for just $4.99. It's Denny's new weekday breakfast slam. Only $4.99 for 2 eggs, bacon and sausage, hash browns, and 2 pancakes. This price won't last long, so come to Denny's.
You can never have too many people on your side. Right there when you need them most. And now, 2 names committed to improving senior health are there for you too. Introducing AARP Medicare Complete, provided through Secure Horizons, the only Medicare Advantage plan with the AARP name on it. AARP and Secure Horizons are committed to seniors and all Medicare beneficiaries, and we'd like to send you a free educational guide, Medicare Advantage Explained. To get yours, call today. Together, we can help you get more from your Medicare benefits.
I've known Secure Horizons by United Healthcare for years. Medicare health plans are their specialty. And now with AARP, I'm expecting even better things to come.
I'll be at your side. There's no need to worry.
AARP Medicare Complete, provided through Secure Horizons. Call now for your free guide.
Superstation WGN is your home for Big League Baseball, so come on home.
Well, the last step in the ultimate 7th inning stretch competition is upon us. Visit Cubs.com and help determine who you think should sing the 7th inning stretch at the Cubs game September 22nd. And we'll be giving you a look at some of the 10 remaining finalists. This is Marcy-Ann Braun from Arlington Heights.
Root for the Cubbies if they don't win.
Very good. Cub fans may have a problem voting for somebody named Braun, but nice job.
Yeah, we're assuming no relation to Ryan Braun. Miguel Cairo bounces it foul near the secret weapon Jose Oquendo. Marcy-Ann Braun from Arlington Heights. Her parents were raised on the north side. She would go to games with her grandparents as a kid. She said she would sing the 7th inning stretch with Harry at the top of her lungs. She says, quote, "I might not sing completely on key, but I'll have a big stupid grin on my face while leading the choir at the friendly confines." So check it out, Cubs.com. You will see the video of Marcy-Ann's rendition plus 9 others. And we'll be playing more videos as we move along. Cairo hitting 7th in front of the pitcher Looper. Shallow pop fly. Derek Lee dropped it. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen that. I think he just whiffed on it. I have never seen Derek Lee just flat out miss one like that. Yeah, he hit his glove.
Hit his glove, and it was a fair ball. You see both players there wearing the shades because of the angle that Derek Lee took on that baseball. It might have been a little bit in the sun, but boy, that is shocking.
Now, normally in that spot, because of that angle you mentioned, the second baseman will take it, but Derek seemed to have a beat on it the entire time. Looper is squaring to bunt.
You know, and in Mike Fondo's defense, you usually will defer to the Gold Glover, but that definitely was his ball. Going all the way back to spring training and pop-up priority drills. That's one of those plays where the first baseman goes after it until he hears the second baseman call him off, and the second baseman continues after the ball until he hears the right fielder call him off. That's kind of the pecking order for fielding those pop-ups in that territory.
Yeah, you usually defer to the Gold Glover and the guy who's about a foot taller.
Yeah.
Just the 5th error of the year for Derek. 2-0 on Looper. Squared the bunt, now pulling the bat back. He might just take a strike. Now he's squaring. And it missed again, 3-0.
Now, we talked about these obvious sack bunt situations in the ball game last night, and Tony La Russa, they like their pitchers to play the game. Show bunt early, bring the bat back, and then maybe turn around and square to bunt. Maybe assume your batting stance, show bunt, bring the bat back and slash at the ball. They do like to play hit and run with some of their pitchers. I'm not so sure Looper would be one of those. But with a 1-run lead in the ball game, if Ted Lilly would be able to get back into the count here, it wouldn't surprise me a bit to see Tony La Russa start that runner at first base on the 3-1 count and let Looper swing away.
And he's going to just show bunt to see if he can get Lilly to miss the zone again.
Now, this is the one that you can't really be sure that he's going to put down a bunt in this situation. Ted Lilly has to throw a strike right here, and if Tony La Russa has enough confidence in Looper that he'll get the bat on the ball, he could start Cairo over there at first base.
There's the bunt by Looper. Lilly off the mound quickly, and he's going to have to lob it to Fontenot covering the bag. So sacrifice for Looper. Cairo at second with 1 out. The 23rd annual Cubs convention will take place at the Hilton Chicago on January 18th, 19th, and 20th, 2008. To reserve a room now for the Cubs convention weekend, call the Hilton Chicago at 312-922-4400. Weekend passes are $50 and a limited number will go on sale Wednesday, November 7th at 10 a.m. on Cubs.com. For more information, please call 773-404-CUBS or visit Cubs.com. No David Eckstein again today. He was scratched last night with a sore back. So Brendan Ryan playing shortstop. He was supposed to play third last night before he was moved to short. Eckstein chatting with tomorrow's starter, Mark Mulder. Joel Pinheiro will start the nightcap tonight. Well, Cairo almost was too far off second base. Close play. They just got Ryan at first. Well, he made it extremely close, but they just got him.
Ryan leaning a little bit as he made contact with that baseball. Terrio just took a look, maybe one extra tap of the glove right there before throwing on to first, and Ryan streaking down that first baseline, very close. I'm not sure where Cairo was going. That ball was hit right in front of him. He had a real good look at it.
Looked like they did get him at first base, but it was close. Adam Dowdy made the call. Two and nothing on Miles. Aaron made his big league debut with the White Sox. He's also been a Colorado Rocky and was a 19th round pick of the Houston Astros in '95 as Cairo takes third base without a throw.
His first stolen base as a Cardinal for Miguel Cairo. He had 8 stolen bases in the American League and not even a chance for Soto to throw on that one.
The 2-1 pitch, too low, 3-1. Aaron Miles really the kind of player you need to see a lot to appreciate. He's not big. Nothing he does will jump out at you immediately, but he works hard. Does all those little things. Taps it toward third. DeRosa will throw and get Miles to end the inning. So the error by Derek Lee does not hurt Ted Lilly. It's still 2-1 St. Louis.
Here. Are you serious? You're killing me. Happy?
It's all about the sauce. Try the new DQ Hot Tips for just $3.99. Great sauces served hot that make our chicken strips worth begging for.
You know how it goes. There's your love life. And there's your life. That's why for guys like me with ED, there's Cialis. Cialis is the only erectile dysfunction tablet clinically proven to both go to work fast and as little as 30 minutes for some men and work up to 36 hours. With Cialis, I can have the option of being ready fast or have up to 36 hours to relax, knowing I can be ready when the moment is finally right.
Tell your doctor about your medical conditions and all medications and ask if you're healthy enough for sexual activity. Don't take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help if you experience priapism, an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease in vision, stop taking Cialis and call your doctor right away.
Why ask your doctor about Cialis?
Because life can be full of interruptions. When the moment is right, you can be ready with Cialis.
What would your parents do if there were 2 of you? They'd be twice as patient.
Oh, I am not disappointed.
They'd yell twice as loud.
Why do I get the feeling everything I say is going in one ear and out the other?
But why wonder? Watch Sister Sister. It's 2 times everything, and now it's on 5 days a week.
Weekdays at 5 on Superstation WGN.
Cub fans, make sure you check out our WGN baseball blog at WGNTV.com, and I have a post on there today, just kind of, again, letting the fans vent a little bit. Hopefully they're feeling a little bit better with this team a game and a half ahead in the standings. But I know there's still some anxiety out there, and there will be until the day the Cubs clinch. And then there'll be more anxiety about what happens in the postseason.
That's just baseball.
Ryan Theriot lifts it in the air to left, so Taguchi went back and then came in. And you have Bob's thought of the day. I won't give away what it is.
Me neither.
I think you should have a thought of the day for the rest of the season.
If I could only have a conscious thought every day, I'd be happy.
Okay. Yeah, we only need 1. We don't need to come up with 5 or 6. Just 1 gem.
Well, there goes that anxiety again. Pressure.
The ball Derek fouled off his right knee the other night. He said, I have never, ever done it before like that. A drive sending Edmonds back. But he makes a catch on the warning track. I mean, Derek has fouled many balls off the front foot, but never off that back knee, and it stung. It ended up knocking him out of action for 1 game in Houston.
Well, I'm sure everybody at some point in their life has sat down to the dinner table and you scoot your chair in under the table and bang your knee on the leg of the table. Well, imagine doing that with a 90-mile-an-hour baseball, catching you right on top of the kneecap. That's just a mild simulation of what Derek Lee went through, so no surprise that he's still limping on that right leg a little bit.
Well, Darrell Ward filled in that night, or the next night, and hit a home run. Was talking with Jason Kendall before the ball game, and he said this is the most unique team I've ever been on. He said we have a lot of depth. We have a lot of guys who do a lot of different things well. Good depth in the starting rotation. And everybody's pitched in here lately. And maybe the biggest thing offensively the last few days is the left-handed hitters hitting for power. Ward and Floyd in particular. They'll be back behind the screen.
Well, even though the Cubs have struggled against left-handed starters this year, most teams look at the Cubs lineup. You see all the right-handed hitters stacked up, Ramirez and Lee and Soriano and DeRosa and so forth and so on. So those left-handed bats are very important to face those tough right-handed opposing pitchers and do some damage. With Floyd, Darrell Ward recently have been swinging the hot bats. Jock Jones hitting for a high average.
That's a 1-2-3 inning, the first one for Braden Looper. It's 2-1 St. Louis.
What would your parents do you if there were two of you. They'd yell twice as loud.
Why do I get the feeling everything I say is going in one ear and out the other?
But why wonder? Watch Sister Sister. It's 2 times everything, and now it's on 5 days a week.
Weekdays at 5 on Superstation WGN. Funniest pets and people. Tuesday night on Superstation WGN.
Thanks, folks. I gotta get going. Cindy, keep my plane ready a little later. We're not finished yet. Cindy, I got stuck on a client call. Cindy, something else just came up. Oh, yeah. Hey, Cindy.
Your plane is ready.
Thanks, Cindy. You're the best.
With so many convenient nonstop flights, you'll feel like you have your own company plane. You can count on Southwest Airlines to get you there on time with friendly customer service.
You are now free to move about the country.
It's time to feel free with Chase Freedom. Feel free to choose points for rewards like travel.
I'm free to do what I want.
Or feel free to choose cash back.
I'm free.
Then feel free to change back again.
In the old time.
Without losing a thing. That's freedom. That's Chase Freedom. Get it free at chase.com/freedom.
Do you know your credit score? Do you know what's in your credit report? You can find out for free right now at freecreditreport.com.
Knowing my credit score helped me save money on my home loan.
Now we can monitor all 3 of our national credit reports every day.
It helps us save money and check for potential identity theft.
Just a few clicks, and I get my credit report and credit score free.
Log on now to freecreditreport.com.
Offer applies with the Roman Triple Advantage.
The Cubs play the Pirates coming up Friday, September 21st at 1:20 on Discount Tire Day. 9 lucky fans with their ticket stubs will win a free set of tires, compliments of Discount Tire Company, America's largest tire store since 1950. Does that mean the tires are large or the store is large? I think it means the store is large. Taguchi hits it high in the air to left. And it's caught by Soriano. 1 out.
Hey, Len, it's our pleasure to wish a happy 67th anniversary to some real friends of the Cubs, Art and Eva Brickler from Lafayette, Indiana. 67 years. You know, Art has mastered my saying.
I would think so.
In 67 years, I'm sure he's used it a few times.
1-0 on Pujols. Yes, dear, you're right. I'm sorry.
That's it.
Yeah. Lois and Philip Arnold of Pekin, their 60th anniversary. And they're going to watch both games. Happy anniversary. Since we're on the topic, could have waited till tomorrow, but we'll do it now. Happy 70th anniversary tomorrow to Arlene and Lawrence Kohlenberg, huge Cub fans in Iowa. They have lived on their farm near Dubuque for 67 of those 70 years. Congratulations.
Can you top that? We've had a 60th anniversary, a 67th, and now a 70th anniversary.
Well, we're going to be here a while today, so let's see if he can top it. 3-2 pitch to Pujols, a ground ball to Ryan Theriot. Pujols discarded his bat in disgust. Shoot us an email at lenandbob@aol.com. Patty Watson watching in Surprise, Arizona. Happy 97th birthday. Ludwig walked and scored in the first inning. Each team with 2 hits. The decisive one to this point has been the double by Jim Edmonds. And knocked in 2. Ludwig starting against the lefty in the place of Rick Ankiel, who's just 2 for his last 28. And Ankiel went 0 for 4 in the opener. We'll see if Tony La Russa puts the left-handed hitter back in there against another southpaw, Sean Marshall, in the nightcap tonight. You have big in-between game plans today?
Well, I've got my iPod. I brought a book, and as you well know, we're right next to the food concourse here, so I may just eat my way through the break between games.
We have a plate full of brownies here.
No, you have a plate full of brownies there.
That unfortunately I dipped into before the ball game, and we only have about 10 or 11 hours left, so maybe a long workout coming up tomorrow morning before the finale of this series. Foul tipped for strike 3. So each starter working a clean 3rd inning. It's 2-1 Cardinals to the 4th.
You know how it goes. There's your love life. Then there's your life. That's why for guys like me with ED, there's Cialis. Cialis is the only erectile dysfunction tablet clinically proven to both go to work fast, and as little as 30 minutes for some men, and work up to 36 hours. With Cialis, I can have the option of being ready fast, or have up to 36 hours to relax, knowing I can be ready when the moment is finally right.
Tell your doctor about your medical conditions and all medications, and ask if you're healthy enough for sexual activity. Don't take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help if you experience priapism, an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease in vision, stop taking Cialis and call your doctor right away.
Why ask your doctor about Cialis?
Because life can be full of interruptions. When the moment is right, you can be ready with Cialis.
Ooh, the never-ending pasta bowl is going on.
Oh, you didn't know?
No, I had no idea.
Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl with new smoked mozzarella Alfredo. Pick any sauce and pasta combination, then another. Just $8.95. Have all you want.
This Friday, get ready. Get physical. Good Luck Chuck. Rated R. In theaters Friday.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced nor retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Come on, Jack, get on there.
Alan Trammell, Cubs bench coach. Always coaching, chatting with Ted Lilly. One ball, no strikes on Jones. Jock hitting 5th in the lineup. He's bounced around a lot this year.
And as usual, even an early day game after a night game, Jock Jones, the first Cub out of that dugout today, was down on that left field foul line about 11:25 this morning, doing some running and stretching and swinging the bat. And that's after taking some cuts in the batting cage, which is right behind the Cubs dugout on the third base side.
The Alfonso Soriano fan asking for some cheers, but all he's getting boos, surrounded by Cardinal fans at the moment. Problem is he's sitting right near the Cardinal dugout. A lot more blue on the other side.
know, there's blue shirts scattered all over the crowd. They kind of tend to get washed away with all the red in this ballpark. Not only the fans that wear red in support of their home team, but the seats are painted red as well.
I see a Cub fan with a red shirt and a big Cub logo in the middle, which is a little odd. You would think if you're going to be here in this park, you would want to wear blue.
It's kind of like a stealth shirt. You know, you walk in with the red shirt on, and most people around here aren't going to give you a hard time unless they really look closely at the logo on the front. Kind of come in under the radar.
You're not heckled as much.
Cubs jacket is definitely the way to go today. The little bit of sun that we had earlier in the day kind of behind the clouds at this point.
Both times for Jones, 3 unassisted. Offensively, Jones and DeRosa give Lou Piniella a lot of options. You can hit those guys at the top of the order, near the bottom, in the middle. Swing and a miss. That was a slider from Looper. Braden Looper was the 3rd overall pick in the 1996 draft, and he was taken by the Cardinals. So he's back with his original team. In the interim, he pitched with Florida and the New York Mets. He's from Oklahoma, born in Weatherford, and he attended Wichita State. Now that's a shocker. While we have a moment, let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN.
Right along with the Reno Sheriff's Department as they bring their unique style of law enforcement to Superstation WGN. Reno 911 tonight at 11:30 on Superstation WGN.
Tonight, the White Sox hosting the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim here on WGN Sports. 6 o'clock Central Time. Jim Thome 1 home run away from 500. Soto with a double, his first time. That was the last Cubs hit. Maybe it's the early start time, but this crowd seems rather subdued early on. Called strike 3. Not anymore. Excited at Looper. Pitched another 1-2-3 inning. It's 2-1 Cardinals.
Just because I'm a foster kid doesn't mean I'm a lost cause.
I have the potential for greatness.
Some people have an attitude about me because my parents have problems.
Give me a chance.
Do something to help me make it.
Make foster care better.
Don't write me off.
Foster kids are our kids.
Think back to the best beer you've ever had. Now, get ready to top it. Fresh Budweiser served on draft. No other beer is this fresh. And the taste, just as the brewmaster intended. Will it be your best beer ever? I say we find out. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
At eHarmony, we match you across 29 dimensions of compatibility. And right now, not only can you log on to eHarmony.com and get your personality profile, you can also review your matches all for free. Aren't you curious to see who you would be matched up with according to compatibility?
He loves me for me.
Visit eHarmony.com and discover what so many singles have found. Log on today and review your eHarmony matches absolutely free. eHarmony.com.
Here. Are you serious? You're killing me. Happy?
It's all about the sauce. Try the new DQ Hot Dips for just $3.99. Great sauces served hot that make our chicken strips worth begging for.
Let's hear another of the 10 finalists in the ultimate 7th inning stretch competition. This is Carly Butler from Oswego, Illinois.
For its root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Come on, Cubbies.
That's Carly Butler, 11 years old. She's in 6th grade, and she wants to take her dad to a Cubs World Series game. She says she and her whole family, the greatest Cub fans. With the spirit and hope that a Cub player like Ron Santo with diabetes, my father with the same disease, root for the greatest team ever. And she would love to sing that song in honor of the 3 greatest, Mr. Santo, my dad, and the Cubs. Things about baseball. So
nicely done. Yeah, nicely done, Carly.
Jim Edmonds batting as we play the bottom of the 4th inning, game 1 of a day-night doubleheader. The 4th split doubleheader in the last 40 seasons for the Cubs. Jim Edmonds skies it to right. For Darrell Ward is twisting and turning, and he makes the catch on the warning track.
Boy, most pitchers will tell you they'd rather be lucky than good. Obviously, you'd like to be both. I think Ted Lilly feels he got a little lucky this time. Boy, that pitch is belt high inside part of the plate, right where Jim Edmonds likes it. Lifts it high in the air. Fortunately for the Cubs, just gets out there and dies on the warning track. Edmonds and Pujols were the 2 Cardinal hitters that were probably the hottest coming into this series. They've done a lot of damage over the last week. Edmonds with a couple of home runs leading up to the bomb that he hit in the ball game last night, and just missed one right there.
Well, Ted has allowed 26 home runs, 2 from his career high allowed. He has the best ERA since becoming a full-time starter with Oakland in 2003, starting the day at 385. First time he has been under 4 during that time, currently at 388 after allowing those 2 runs in the 1st inning. One and 2 on Molina. Cubs have won Lilly's last 3 starts. He is 2-0 to start the month of September. And his next start scheduled to be on short rest. It'll be just his 2nd career start on 3 or fewer days of rest. Same for Carlos Zambrano, who's going to pitch Tuesday night. Lilly will go Wednesday in that series against the Reds. And for Big Z last night, 101 pitches, but spread out over 8 innings. And in talking with Larry Rothschild, he said 100 pitches in 8 innings, a lot different than 100 pitches in 5 or 6 innings. Line to left, a base hit. And what he meant by that was, if you throw 101 pitches in 6 innings, you're going to have a lot of long innings, and they're high-stress situations.
A lot of deep counts, probably a lot of runners on base. Carlos, that was one of his easier outings of the year last night. I mean, just as far as quick innings, Cardinals hitters were attacking him early in the sequence, which was really surprising to me. Knowing his history, you would have thought that the Cardinals would have been very patient, tried to run up that pitch count early in the ball game and get Big Z out of there, but they were extremely aggressive against Carlos last night.
The single by Molina, the third hit of the day for the Cardinals. Cairo reached on an error in the second by Derek Lee, but he would ultimately be stranded at third. Good slide by Soto in the block. He'll get a new baseball from fielded Culbreth.
We've talked about Soto's conditioning, how much better shape he's in this year, and it really shows up defensively. I mean, it's easy to look at the offensive season he had in AAA this year, but defensively is where I've really seen a big improvement. He's much quicker behind the plate this year.
It's DeRosa and foul ground, and he snaps it up. So 2 outs in the inning.
You know, Len, we haven't seen a lot of the big overhand curveball from Ted Lilly so far in this ball game. Now, granted, we're just in the bottom of the 4th inning, and he tried to throw a couple early in the game and left them up high. They just never really took the break and got down into the strike zone. This could be one of those days where you scrap that pitch until later in the ball game. Continue to throw it in warm-ups between innings and see if you can find a good feel for it. But he's mostly gone with the cut fastball and the backdoor slider in this game.
Hooper does a pretty good job as a hitter. 191 this year, 193 in his career. Slider that time. So he's shown both breaking balls in this at bat against Looper. The kick and the pitch. Just missed. Back up the middle and rolled into center. And the Cardinal battery occupying the bases. Molina at second and Looper right behind him at first.
Unfortunately, Ryan Theriot was shaded just a step or two towards the hole between third and short. And you may wonder why with the pitcher at the plate, but when Ted Lilly's throwing a lot of sliders like we saw, a lot of cut fastballs there to Braden Looper, he's more likely to pull that ball to the left side of the field, but that time went right back up the middle for an easy base hit.
Brendan Ryan batting with 2 on. And he looks at it low. Now Ted Lilly's earned run average at 3.87. I've noticed in this ballpark they update the ERA with every out and every run. So if you're a pitcher, you're probably best not to look up at the bullpen. It's almost too much information. We don't mind seeing it, but the pitchers probably don't. 2 hits, no runs.
Hi, I'm Keith Hernandez.
And I'm Walt Clyde Frazier.
What a marvelous night for the action.
Let's go to the play-by-play.
Oh, there's Mr. Graybeard approaching Miss Hottie. Oh, no.
Rejected.
Clyde, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah, no play for Mr. Gray. Get that man our Just for Men brush-in color gel.
It's specially formulated to penetrate coarse facial hair and gets rid of gray in 5 easy minutes.
Home run. Another win with Just for Men.
When it comes to powerful congestion relief, my choice is Clear. I get Claritin Clear with Claritin D.
Some allergy decongestants change their formulas. Claritin D chose not to change.
For terrible sinus pressure, my choice is Clear. Claritin D.
Nothing works stronger, faster, or longer to relieve your worst allergy symptoms, including congestion and sinus pressure, without drowsiness.
For the worst allergies, I want a product with the best decongestant. My choice is Clear. Claritin D.
Get Claritin D at the pharmacy counter. Still no prescription needed.
Live Claritin Clear.
If a Cubs player hits a homer today, write down the distance and player's name and send it to WGN TV. You could win 2 round-trip tickets to any Southwest Airlines destination. Starting next week, Superstation WGN wants to give you a year's supply of free gas.
I am not pulling your finger.
Fill her up with a Corner Gas free gas giveaway. Next week, watch Corner Gas Monday through Thursday at midnight and be on the lookout for the special bobblehead. Then go online to SuperstationWGN.com and tell us who you saw. 10 lucky winners score a year's supply of free gas. Enter every day because the more times you enter, the more chances you have to win. Watch Corner Gas for the Corner Gas free gas giveaway. No purchase necessary. Gas card maximum $2,000.
And now, here are today's midday winning lottery numbers.
Yo, yo, yo. Hey, hip-hop fans, Chicago's very own Common is coming to the Charter One Pavilion on Northerly Island this Thursday night with special guest Joss Stone. This show is presented by LiveNation.com and part of the Bud Light Concert Series. For information and tickets, visit LiveNation.com or call Ticketmaster at 312-559-1212. Bud Light and live music, always worth it.
Nicely done.
Hey. Yep.
Here's Mike Fontenot. We're in the 5th inning. It's 2-1 Cardinals. Kind of a quiet start to this ball game.
Now, this has kind of followed a pattern for the Cubs, especially in the day games when they played a night game the night before and don't take batting practice. It just seems to take a little while to get their rhythm going. As I mentioned, a lot of the guys took batting practice in the cages today. Several of the players came out early to get some running in and some throwing, but just not the same as the regular daily routine that players become so accustomed to.
I think that Common song is going to get the Cubs into a good rhythm.
Hey, whatever it takes. Lou's probably got that disc, I would imagine.
Sure. Outside, and it's 3-0. Ted Lilly on deck. I don't know if I've seen Lou with the iPod and the headphones.
Yeah, he's more of a crossword puzzle kind of a guy. You see him working them on the plane all the time.
The 3-1 to Mike is hit in the air. A little bit of an issue with his son, but so Taguchi able to find it and catch it.
Yeah, the shadow's almost directly behind the players on the left side of the field right now. As the day moves on, eventually the guys in the middle are going to have some problems, and then early in the night game tonight, maybe the right fielder have a little trouble with the sun. Shouldn't be much of a problem this evening, though.
Now, the Cubs did not take batting practice, but the Cardinals did before game 1. I think I've only done 1 or 2 split doubleheaders. Would anybody take BP before game 2? Probably not. I'm
guessing it'd be cage work, probably. You know, optional for the guys that feel they need it, and in the cages, that gives the grounds crew plenty of opportunity to get the field ready for game 2. And I could be wrong. We'll see how it goes. Certainly there's going to be a lot of time between games today.
The last split doubleheader the Cubs played was in 2005 at Atlanta. And they lost both. Played a pair of day-nighters at Wrigley Field back in late August and early September. Rather, back in September of 03 and then August of 02. Lilly grounds out. 10 straight sent down by Looper. That includes the Fontenot sac fly. Make that 11 in a row.
And you know that old theory about the leadoff hitter giving the pitcher time to get back into the dugout. Soriano was planted in that batter's box about the time Lilly hit first base.
Prior to the August 31st, 2002 doubleheader against the Cardinals, the Cubs had not played a split twin bill since July 4th, 1967 at Atlanta. It was just the second year of the Atlanta Braves after they had moved from Milwaukee in 1966.
Both pitchers struggling with their breaking balls in this game today. Looper's shown a pretty good slider from time to time, but that big overhand curve hasn't been there for him, nor has it been there for Ted Lilly. I wonder if the chilly conditions here have anything to do with that. Sometimes a pitcher has a little problem getting a tight grip on that breaking ball to get the spin necessary to make it break.
There's a breaker for a strike. 2-2 on Soriano, still seeking his first career hit against Looper. He's 0 for 7. There is that first hit. So he's 1 for 8.
Like another slider out over the plate, just kind of spun up there. Soriano was a little bit out front, caught it off the end of the bat, but got enough of it to get it out there in shallow left field for a base hit. We saw Alfonso try to steal second base against Yadier Molina last night. Probably not a real good idea. And we haven't seen Soriano run much at all this season, especially after the quad injury. That really slowed him down, but I think it was a good sign that he's starting to feel closer to 100% with that leg that he even attempted to steal against the Cardinals last night.
Cubs are 9th in the league in steals. Fastball off the plate. Milwaukee will not play until later. Dropped a 6-5 decision to the Reds last night. Kirk Saarloos and Jeff Suppan, the scheduled starters tonight. Tom Shuren beat Ben Sheets in the opener. Drilled into center, but it will be caught. Jim Edmonds records the third out. The 2-out hit by Soriano, but no runs. It's still 2-1 St. Louis.
I'm on the 415. Let's see what kind of plane you'll be on today.
Step over there and spin that wheel. Come on.
Come on, big plane.
Woo, big plane, big plane, big plane. Big plane, big plane. No. Small plane.
On Southwest Airlines, you'll never fly in a small plane. We guarantee every seat on every flight is on a big, comfortable Boeing 737.
You are now free to move about the country.
Tommy.
Marco?
Looking good.
Hi, thank you.
Love the jacket.
Do you?
Yes.
$90.
What?
Ooh, nice shoes.
$50.
I'm proud of you.
Love the hair.
Oh, yeah, my cousin does it. $20.
Very nice.
Nice tie.
Thanks for thinking my tie's nice.
What'd you spend on that?
$12.
Double cheeseburger, $1.
McDonald's melty, beefy double cheeseburger.
I'll give you $2.
3.
What, are you made of money?
Just one of the extravagant choices on the dollar menu. Are you a dollar millionaire?
Well, the battery's good, so I figure it's the alternator. So I go down to AutoZone, and the guy says, let's test it first. Might not be a problem. Turns out it's just a bad cable. You know, with AutoZone, piece of cake.
Introducing the first smartphone that really rocks. The new Moto Q Music from Verizon Wireless. Organize your life and give it a soundtrack. Because smartphones rock harder on America's most reliable wireless network, Verizon Wireless.
Superstation WGN is your home for Big League Baseball, so come on home.
While we have a moment, let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN.
Right along with the Reno Sheriff's Department as they bring their unique style of law enforcement to Superstation WGN. Reno 911 tonight at 11:30 on Superstation WGN.
Big day tomorrow. Rams are in town. Cubs and the Cardinals will wrap up this series. Aaron Miles shows bunt, takes a strike from Ted Lilly. It's 2-1 Cardinals. The Cubs won last night 5-3. They've already clinched the season series, 9-4 on the year, including 5-1 here in St. Louis. There's a bike race in town.
It's called the Tour of Missouri, something like that.
Does it go across the entire state?
That I'm not sure.
Apparently it does. That would make sense if it's a Tour of Missouri.
Craig Monroe agrees.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
Always good to retire those guys leading up to the big first baseman. Just a fastball right down the middle. Blew it past Miles for strike 3.
Called strike on Taguchi. Top 2 hitters, Miles and Taguchi, a combined 0 for 5. Lofted to right. Darrell Ward with no problem.
Nicely done. Now you can afford to pitch Pujols carefully. If you lose him, you lose him. You have to go after Ryan Ludwig. But once again, this is the guy in the Cardinals lineup that is most likely to do damage if you make a mistake on it. There's a big curveball from Ted Lilly. Haven't seen that for a couple of innings.
Pujols has hit in 10 of his last 11, including today. A single and a run in the first. Snapped a 75 at bat homerless streak last night with that game tying homer. Albert with a record 7 30-homer seasons to start his career. He went to high school in Independence, Missouri. was born in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. He left the Dominican at age 16 with his father. Went to Maple Woods Community College in Missouri and was only a 13th round pick. Might go down as the best 13th round pick in Major League history. A 3-2 on the way, and he walked him.
You don't know whether that was a case of scouts missing on a guy, or maybe he just wasn't that good at that point. You know, some guys are late bloomers. Physically, they grow into their bodies at a later point in life. He certainly figured out how to hit that baseball.
It was subtle, but notice what he did on ball 4. It's almost like he took 2 steps out of the box before the ball hit the mitt. His eye is that good at the plate. Now, earlier, he took what he thought was ball 4. It was a called strike. That is his 91st walk of the season.
I think that's a common trait for all good hitters, the ability to immediately recognize the pitch out of the pitcher's hand, whether it's a breaking ball or a fastball or a changeup. And then quickly following, they identify whether it's going to be in the strike zone or not. And the good ones are able to do that a lot faster than the rest.
Good block by Giovanni, keeping Pujols at first base. Lilly has kept the Cubs within striking distance. They trail, but only by a run. Fastball inside edge. I don't know, maybe the gun's off or maybe my eyes are off, but that ball was not 88 miles an hour. At least it didn't appear that it was 88. Looked like it had a little more pop on it. No, he's mixed his speeds well. That makes his fastball seem better. Busted bat, grounder, foul. That went up to 91.
That's the result that Ted Lilly looks for. You talked about changing speeds, and that's why you do it. You kind of lull hitters to sleep, and then you run that cut fastball right in on the knuckles of Brian Ludwig. Left with that tent peg in his hand. That barrel of the bat went all the way out to shortstop.
Well, he has always been. I thought that was a split screen for a second, but it was actually the foul pole in the middle of the shot. I was like, I thought Soto was standing at the plate and Lilly was on the mound, but it looked like they were together. Actually, the foul pole in the middle. Yeah, he's always been a strikeout pitcher. And it's not as if he throws 95 miles an hour.
Seeing a few more curveballs in this inning. That's not unusual for a starting pitcher, especially a guy like Ted Lilly, who I would classify more as a finesse pitcher. Even though we've seen him break some bats, and you said he's a strikeout guy, he does it more with finesse, changing speeds, moving the ball around the strike zone, up, down, in and out. And when you have a guy like that on the mound, sometimes one pitch won't be there for him for a couple of innings, but you keep throwing it in warm-ups, you mix it in from time to time when you're heading the count, and hopefully you find it.
Jones with the grab, and the inning is over. He walked Pujols, but got Ludwig. Cardinals 2, Cubs 1 after 5.
Next, Reno 911, sexy ladies.
Hey, big boy. Hey. It looked better in the catalog than it does on.
Hardened criminals.
Oh!
And huge explosions.
Oh, I hit the top!
Oh, God.
I think we can save it.
Reno 911.
Tonight at 11:30 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
What makes the world's perfect beer? Start with the choicest hops and the best barley malt. Then Beechwood age it for that crisp, clean taste. Finally, throw in a football and 60,000 friends. The taste that makes it game day. The perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
Here,
killing me. Happy?
It's all about the sauce. Try the new DQ Hot Tips for just $3.99. Great sauces served hot that make our chicken strips worth begging for.
My brother calls me Murphy's Law. Oh!
This Friday, falling in love with her is easy.
Cam's the one, man.
Not getting hurt could be a problem.
Sorry.
Good luck, Chuck. Rated R. In theaters Friday.
That Alfredo really hit the spot.
You just said that about the meat sauce.
Different dish, different spot.
Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl with new sausage and peppers marinara. Pick any sauce and pasta combination, then another. Just $8.95. Have all you want.
Bob Brenly, Len Casper, and our WGN sports crew from St. Louis, Missouri. Derek Lee swings at the first pitch and pops it up into shallow right, and it is caught. Well, we're in a good old-fashioned pitcher's duel as we check in on today's Honda Civic game summary, although last night was a pitcher's duel until the ninth. Giovanni Soto with a rare start with a double. The RBI and the sac fly from Fontenot. Ted Lilly has done good work on the mound, and Jim Edmonds with a two-run double. That was to right field in the bottom of the first inning. Soto with his double in the second, and then Fontenot with a sac fly. That's your Honda Civic game summary. Get performance and save gas. Test drive a new Civic at your Honda dealer today.
To flip back through the scorebook a little bit, but that very uncharacteristic error by Derek Lee leading off the second inning on that pop-up by Miguel Cairo was the first error the Cubs have made in their last 7 ball games. It's easy to point to the newfound power stroke for some of the hitters, and the starting pitching has been real good. When they've had a lead, the bullpen has been able to close out ball games, but no substitute for that airtight defense.
And one of the big concerns going into the season was about the outfield play defensively. And I think I said this a few times. You hope that you out-hit your mistakes in the outfield. Alfonso Soriano was learning a new position in center. He had Floyd and Merton in left. Jock Jones, who had some throwing problems in right last year. But Soriano eventually ended up in his most comfortable spot in left. Jones has shown terrific range in center. And I can't think of too many horrible misplays that have led to damaging runs in right. Now that ball earlier got away from Darrell Ward, but again, I think both guys would have scored either way. Miles throws him out.
What good defense will do for you is force the other team to earn their runs. They're going to have to string together some base hits or base hits with walks, somehow manufacture some runs. If you don't kick the ball around and give them more than 3 outs in an inning, they have to earn every run they get.
Jones. We should also add what has happened a lot late in ball games. Felix Pie has come in to play center, and Jones has moved from center to right. So adding more speed in the outfield. Two and two. Actually, the biggest problem, I think, in the outfield hasn't hurt the Cubs, but it was a little aggravating to watch with some of the miscommunication in left center. But, you know, fortunately, it didn't really become a problem. Soriano and Jones had a few times where they would come together, and it was kind of an I got it, you take it. But they've tightened that up.
I think that's come with more regular playing time. Yep. Jock Jones knows Alfonso Soriano in left field a little better now. Communication tends to come with more playing time.
It's caught by Cairo. The Cubs continue to struggle offensively today against Braden Looper, who leads the world in daytime ERA. It's still 2-1.
What would your parents do if there were 2 of you? Why wonder? Watch Sister Sister. It's 2 times everything, and now it's on 5 days a week.
Weekdays at 5 on Superstation WGN.
That's why Southwest Airlines has 8 daily nonstop flights from Chicago Midway to Philadelphia, so you can always catch a later flight. And you can count on us to get you there with our convenient nonstop flights and on-time service.
You are now free to move about the country.
Introducing the first smartphone that really rocks. The new Moto Q Music from Verizon Wireless. Organize your life and give it a soundtrack. Because smartphones rock harder on America's most reliable wireless network, Verizon Wireless.
Brian's profile definitely jumped out at me, and I was excited to get to know this person better.
Every year, thousands of singles like Amy and Brian get matched on eHarmony.com.
And, you know, we were matched on as many compatibility levels as we could.
Aren't you curious to see who you're compatible with?
I think it's extremely important to be open-minded to every single match that you get, and you could find the love of your life.
Log on to eHarmony.com today and review your matches absolutely free.
America's funniest home videos. Weeknights starting at 7 on Superstation WGN.
Cub fans still looking to get tickets to the hottest Cub games this year. Visit Cubs.com and click on Replay, the official secondary market site for the Chicago Cubs. See a Cubs game from the best seats at Wrigley Field. Check out Replay at Cubs.com, where baseball is always on. Cubs trying to push ahead, leading the division by a 1.5 over Milwaukee. 6 up on the Cardinals, but they'll have to come from behind today, trailing 2-1. And the reason they're down is Jim Edmonds' 2-run double in the first inning. We fly deep to the warning track and right in the 4th.
That was a 2-run double for Edmonds, but he was posing at home plate as if he had a 3-run homer. He thought he got all of it, but a lot of topspin. Ball hit about halfway up the fence and straightaway right.
A lot of fly balls today. Soriano whipped on it, lost it in the sun, and Edmonds is at second. That's the bad sun field, and it costs Soriano. Now he has the flip downs. He was using them. He just couldn't find the baseball.
You saw him trying to get an angle on that ball to get it out of the sun. Tried to get over closer to the foul line and then look back toward the ball. Almost hit him in the forearm there as he stuck up his glove and attempted to make the play. Tidlow is going to have to pitch around that leadoff double. That's tough. Can't do anything about that sun.
They're giving Soriano an error. Ooh. The problem sometimes with the official scoring, as Kerry Wood is up in the pen, is it's a bit inconsistent. Everybody has a different philosophy. Bob Rosenberg, who scores at Wrigley Field, and on the south side is DeRosa. Will throw out Molina. Fontenot covering at first base. Rosie always says if you can't see it, how do you catch it? And I think we both tend to agree. At any rate, runner at third with 1 out.
Well, I tend to agree with Rosie. Lose the ball in the sun. It happens. He's battling it the whole way. Trying to use the shades, use his glove to keep that sun out of his eyes, but just can't do it. I don't see how that can be an error. And once again, it's a lot like an umpire strike zone, their own interpretation of the strike zone. Hey, it's either a hit or it's an error, and I think that should be universal around the game for all the scores. It shouldn't vary from ballpark to ballpark and score to score.
Fielded Culbreth's going to break up the meeting. There is other action in the major leagues. Just a couple of other games going on. The Mets leading the Phillies 3-1 in the bottom of the 5th at Shea Stadium. And Toronto 6, the Orioles 1 up in Canada. In the last of the 6th, Frank Thomas with his 22nd home run. Infield in versus Miguel Cairo. Here we go. Popped up. Foul ground. Derek Lee over near the Cardinal dugout. He has room. 2 away. Larry Rothschild came out, said get a foul pop to Derek Lee, we'll be all right.
If it were only that easy. Well, Cairo really being overly aggressive with that runner at third base. 1 out in the inning. He got a good pitch to hit. He just didn't hit it. That was a fastball belt high out over the plate. Tardy with his swing and popped it up into foul territory on the first base side.
In there on Looper. There is 1 for 1, a sac bunt in the 2nd, a single to center in the 4th. Swing and the miss. Runners stranded at third base. Cubs trail by 1 as we go to the 7th.
Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Pepsi. Your world, your Pepsi.
You're messing with the wrong guy.
We're up to 1 million hits.
Sweet.
Who is it?
Chuck Norris.
Yeah, right.
Here. Are you serious? You're killing me. Happy?
It's all about the sauce. Try the new DQ hot dips for just $3.99. Great sauces served hot that make our chicken strips worth begging for.
Women seem to be coming on to me in an unusual manner.
You have sex with someone and then they find their true love.
That's ridiculous.
I guess you are lucky, charm.
This Friday.
Fess up about this charm.
No, it's not me.
The man everyone wants. Only wants her.
What makes you think I'll be kissing you?
Dane Cook.
Kim's the one, man.
Jessica Alba.
Now?
Wait till I get this.
Good Luck, Chuck. Rated R. In theaters Friday.
Time now for our Bud Light Fan Cam Chicago on a fall-like day in St. Louis. A little Buffalo Tom.
Buffalo Tom with a track called Summer. Summer's gone. That's what it feels like. Cool temperatures here in St. Louis. Today's Bud Light fan cam, always worth it. 58 degrees when we started. A little bit warmer now. Saw Derek Lee walking into the ballpark. He said, "Where did summer go?" You know, it's getting late in game one. We're in the 7th, but the Cubs are only down 1. Another one in the air. And it's caught by Ludwig. He's pulling a Ricky Henderson. Throws lefty, bats righty. Here comes Soto for his 3rd at bat. We'll see Jason Kendall back in there in game 2. Jason said he'd be ready if needed late in game 1. He said it's a National League. He can't just kick his feet up here for game 1.
I'll tell you what, Len, after Soto's double back in the 2nd inning, he hasn't seen anything from the middle of the plate in since. Looper throwing fastballs and sliders off of that outside corner. Molina sets up out there again. The good thing is pitchers make mistakes. If the pitchers never made mistakes, a guy could hit 110 and lead the league. All it takes is 1 in a 1-run ball game.
Well, I can tell you one thing based on what's happened lately. There's a lot of confidence in that visiting dugout right now. You might even say more than in the Cardinal dugout. And the reason I say that, the Cubs have won 3 in a row. They're in first place. And on the other side, the Cardinals have gone through everything the last week plus. They've lost 8 in a row. They've had leads that they've blown. Cairo had time to get a slow running Giovanni Soto. They got an excellent pitching performance from their starter last night, Adam Wainwright, but it wasn't good enough.
Yeah, it's tough to maintain a positive attitude when your most recent experiences were bad ones, and the Cardinals have had a week of bad experiences. I mean, you may say all the right things, outwardly give the appearance that you're positive and you're going to move forward and concentrate on today's ball game, but in the back of your mind, those last 8 ball games are right there. That's your most recent memory of what's happened on the field.
And I'm sure before that, when they were in their hottest stretch of the year, they probably felt like they would never lose another game. Ball and a strike on Mike Fontenot. Cliff Lloyd is on deck.
Get out.
Cairo can't get it.
Got to talk to him sometimes. Get out of here.
Is that what your golf game is like?
Yeah, I talk to the golf ball just about every shot, but it rarely listens.
Have you ever shot a 28 on the front 9?
One hole maybe, but man, Tiger just act like he's playing video golf yesterday.
Molina held it for an extra second, but didn't get the call from Culbreth. .107 pitches for Ted Lilly, and Cliff Floyd in the on-deck circle. No big Golf fan, big golfer, and a huge Cub fan. Doug Cook, happy birthday wishes. Made the trip to St. Louis with 20 of his buddies to celebrate number 40. Bounding ball, and it's Miles to throw out. Fontenot sets up the 7th inning stretch in St. Louis. The Cubs are down 2-1.
The legends, the music, the dancers. The stars you'll always remember. The clothes you'd like to forget. Old School Soul Train is back in style.
I can't get enough of that funky stuff.
Soul Train, Saturdays at 2. Step up to a beer brewed longer. Step up to exceptional taste that's never filling. 99 calories, 0 grams of fat. Budweiser Select. Step up.
Hey, you got some stuff.
It's not stuff, Meredith. It's an Oreo dessert pizza mustache.
Yeah, you get it whenever you eat Domino's new Oreo dessert pizza. Mine's just not as full.
Give it time, Kevin. It'll fill out.
You really think so?
I think so. I know so.
Domino's new warm and chocolatey Oreo dessert pizza. Just $3.99 with any purchase. Call or order online.
Introducing the first smartphone that really rocks. The new Moto Q Music from Verizon Wireless. Organize your life and give it a soundtrack. Because smartphones rock harder on America's most reliable wireless network, Verizon Wireless.
Time to have a ball with our friends at the Illinois Lottery. The kids chorus going a little bit more smoothly than a couple of years ago when we were here. Got a little testy.
Yeah, chaos.
We got out really late, and there was a young girl who kept saying, "Zip it, zip, zip it." Nicely done. Kerry Wood now pitching. In for Ted Lilly. Lower half of the 7th, 2-1 Cardinals. Lilly finished his day with 5 straight scoreless innings after giving up those 2 in the first. He gave up 4 hits, walked 2, struck out 4, and exited with a 3.82 ERA.
And Woody will just pitch 1 inning in this ball game. The pitcher spot is scheduled to lead off the top half of the 8th inning for the Cubs. Lou did not make a double switch, so just looking to get 1 strong inning out of Kerry Wood here.
Kerry with one of his strongest performances a couple of nights ago in Houston with a 1-2-3-7.
Not only did he get good results, but his stuff was really good. Fastball was jumping out of his hands. He threw a couple of those deflector shield sliders. Looked like Kerry Wood of old. .96 on that heater, right in on the fist.
A 1-2 pitch. Ryan with a check swing foul. Kerry throwing 3 pitches as a reliever. The fastball and both breaking balls, a slider and the curve. As the curve mainly just as Something that's not hard. Darrell Ward over, and that ball is just out of play. Cardinals setup man Ryan Franklin up in their bullpen. Woods 1-2 again. Soft liner and right at Terrio for the out. Well, again, the last step in the ultimate 7th inning stretch competition is upon us. Visit Cubs.com and help determine who you think should sing the stretch on September 22nd. Here's Eleanor Triner, one of the finalists from Palatine.
Nuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back. Oh, it's rude, rude, rude.
Eleanor is 81 years old. Her first game was 1931. She was in the bleachers for the 1945 World Series. She said there was not a day that her 6 children came home that they did not hear her at Jack Brickhouse cheering about something exciting the Cubs had just done. So jump on Cubs.com and cast your vote. She said she learned the game as a little girl from Pat Flanagan and later Bob Elson. Aaron Miles batting left-handed against the righty Wood.
Two. 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Let's hear some runs.
All right. There you go.
All right.
Good
nice
job. Yes.
Good job.
You have a beautiful voice.
Yeah.
I hope I did
that cast of celebrity judges had a great day at Wrigley Field. A swing and a miss by Miles.
Nice pitch by Kerry Wood. Miles, it's about the same from both sides of the plate. Coming into play today, he was a .305 hitter from the right side, .298 from the left side. Almost twice as many at bats as a left-handed hitter. Good pitch by Woody to retire him right there.
One and nothing on Taguchi, who chokes up on the bat. Well, you and I have gotten to know Kerry pretty well over the last 3 years, and I tell you, one of the things he's done this year, he's really tried to stay out of the spotlight. Even in spring training, there was a lot of attention paid to him and Mark Pryor, and his approach has been, I'm just one of many in the Cubs bullpen. Darrell Ward with a long run over toward the line. Foul ground. He makes the catch, and Wood with a 1-2-3 7th inning. Good to see, keeping the Cubs within 1 as we go to the 8th.
I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without.
Fall in love with breakfast again. With a real sit-down breakfast everybody will love, like Denny's French toast. So bring the family and pass the syrup.
When I'm riding, I can't let my allergy medicine put me in a fog. So I only ride Claritin Clear. Claritin works hard to relieve my worst allergy symptoms. Sneezing, runny nose, for a full 24 hours. In fact, it works so well, only Claritin has proven to make me alert and focused. And it doesn't make me drowsy, like some other medicines can. When I get allergy relief and stay razor sharp, I'm ahead from start to finish. Stay alert, stay focused, live Claritin Clear.
It's time to feel free with Chase Freedom. Feel free to choose points for rewards like travel,
I'm free.
Or feel free to choose cash back. Then feel free to change back again. Without losing a thing. That's freedom. That's Chase Freedom. Get it free at chase.com/freedom.
Tommy.
Marco?
Looking good.
I thank you.
Love the jacket.
Do you?
Yes.
$90.
What?
Ooh, nice shoes.
$50.
I'm proud of you.
Love the hair.
Oh, yeah, my cousin does it. $20.
Very nice.
Nice tie.
Thanks for thinking my tie's nice.
What'd you spend on that?
$12.
Double cheeseburger, $1.
McDonald's melty, beefy double cheeseburger.
I'll give you $2.
3.
What, are you made of money?
Just one of the extravagant choices on the dollar menu. Are you a dollar millionaire?
Superstation WGN is your home for Big League Baseball, so come on home.
Now a look at the upcoming Cubs and Sox high-definition broadcast schedule, sponsored by Comcast here on WGN Sports tonight. The White Sox and the AL West leading LA Angels of Anaheim at 6 o'clock Central. Cubs hosting the Reds on WCIU Wednesday night, and then the Pirates and the Cubs 12 Central 1 week from today, Saturday, September 22nd. Right here on WGN Sports. 2007 Big League Baseball in HD, sponsored by Comcast. Well, I would say good news for the Cubs. Braden Looper is out. Ryan Franklin is in. He has been terrific this year in a setup role in front of Jason Isringhausen.
Franklin with a clean inning in the ball game last night. Struck out one Cubs hitter. Zeros across the board otherwise.
Cubs could only muster 3 hits against Looper. Isringhausen getting stretched out. He gave up that 3-run double to Darrell Ward last night. So both closers struggled last night in non-save opportunities. Isringhausen came in with his team down a run, and Dempster came in with his team up 4. And both gave up multiple runs.
Cliff Floyd leading off here. Cubs trailing by a run late. You would have to assume if Cliff reaches base here, we'll see Felix P.A. come into the ball game to run for him.
Two and one on Floyd, pinch hitting. 3-game homer streak. First time he's hit home runs in 3 consecutive games since 2003.
After getting a little bit of a rest from Lou Piniella, Cliff Floyd has been on fire his last 5 ball games, hitting .438 with 3 homers.
I really like him in this spot, seeing the ball extremely well. The 3-1. Ooh, had a good rip, fouled it back.
And all 3 of his recent home runs have been tape measure blasts. This one went into the back of the Cardinals bullpen out there in right center field. 2 tape measure shots in Minute Maid Park the last 2 games of that Houston series.
And he walked him. And we are going to see Sam Fuld as a pinch runner.
I guessed wrong. I knew we were going to see a pinch runner. I assumed it would be PA, but it's going to be Sam Fuld instead.
They fold you.
Yes, they fold me.
I apologize, partner. I know it's going to be a long day for you, having to deal with that.
I thought you'd save your A stuff for the second game.
Who said it was A stuff? Carlos Marmol is up, and we mentioned they show the ERA, the 1-loss record, the strikeouts, all that stuff. Carlos doesn't want to know. I don't know how he can avoid it out in the bullpen. Paul Sullivan wrote in the Chicago Tribune, both Marmol and Howery, Bob Howery, they do not look at their numbers. They do their best to avoid it wherever they are. I have no idea how he can avoid it. A chance for the Cubs. Swing and a miss. Runner on, nobody out. Franklin to the belt. And the pitch. 1-2. Right-hander coming back. One with a slider, but Soriano didn't bite.
Well, you know, Len, it's just not Alfonso Soriano's style, but it would seem this at bat sets up so well to shoot a ball through that right side of the infield. Pujols holding on Sam Fuld over there at first base. Miles cheating a little bit close to the bag at second. But we know from experience, Alfonso Soriano never looks to shoot the ball to right side. He's looking to jerk something in the air to left field.
We'll see if Fuld will be on the move. Soriano is a strikeout candidate. Cubs are trailing by a run.
Well, Franklin can be a little deliberate in his delivery to home plate, but we know about Molina behind the plate.
Boy, they just about got him. Ooh. He was leaning. A little bit of a flinch, but he got back. Barely. Boy, that was too close for comfort.
Right, now Mike Quaddy will have to go through another set of signs. It looked like Fuld was leaning towards second, indicating that he was probably going to run on that pitch. So you have to go through another set of signs just to give the Cardinals something to think about over there. If you don't go through any signs down there at third base, Tony La Russa's got a pretty good idea that Fuld is going to be running again on the next pitch.
Not running, and there's a drive to left by Soriano, and it is gone! Cubs lead. A two-run shot. His 26th. And the Cub fan letting the Cardinal fans hear about it.
And that's why Alfonso Soriano doesn't take a shot to the right side. He is always one pitch away from putting a ball up there in the bleachers in left field. Boy, a lot of risks at the very finish of that swing. He got to contact, was a little bit out front, and really rolled those wrists over, just kind of flicked that ball into the bleachers in left.
Backhanded play by Miles to throw out Terrio. Out number one. It's 3-2 Cubs. They have their first lead of the afternoon.
Boy, the hands and wrists of Alfonso Soriano. Yeah, he knows he got it. Posing for a few steps down the first baseline. Gives the Cubs a one-run lead here in the top half of the eighth inning. I'll tell you, the ball hasn't been carrying real well today. I wasn't quite as sure as Alfonso was when that ball came off the bat, but he knew he squared that one up pretty good.
Go-ahead home run. That's his 8th home run over his last 17 games. Bouncer to third. Cairo guns down lead.
Boy, with the crowd here at this stadium, you've got a 50-50 chance it's going to end up in a Cubs hand. And if I were you, I'd give it to the big guy. Yeah, good choice.
For Soriano, that is his 7th hit of the trip and his 4th home run. He's pumped up. So is everybody in that visiting dugout. Inside on Darrell Ward. Cardinal bullpen failing again. Well, Franklin gets 3 ground ball outs, but not before the leadoff walk. And then this big home run to give the Cubs a 3-2 advantage.
The real Justin and Kelly.
Just a small country girl with a great opportunity.
Their whole story has never been told until now. The rarely seen home movies, behind the scenes bloopers, American Idol Rewind.
Sunday at 8 on Superstation WGN.
Step up to a beer brewed longer. Step up to exceptional taste that's never filling. $99 calories, 0 grams of fat. Budweiser Select. Step up.
Ooh, the never-ending pasta bowl is going on.
Oh, you didn't know?
No,
I figured that's why you were in such a hurry to get here.
No, I had no idea what was going on.
Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl is back with delicious new sauces like sausage and peppers marinara and smoked mozzarella alfredo. Pick any combination of sauce and pasta, then another. Try them all for just $8.95, plus endless breadsticks and salad.
I'll have the penne with meat sauce followed by the 5-cheese marinara.
No idea, huh?
Olive Garden. When you're here, you're family.
Here. Are you serious? Killing me. Happy?
It's all about the sauce. Try the new DQ Hot Tips for just $3.99. Great sauces served hot that make our chicken strips worth begging for.
Huge home run by Soriano to give the Cubs the lead. And changes now for the Cubs. Carlos Marmol will do the pitching. Felix PA now in center. Jock Jones over to right. Cubs are trying to send the Cardinals to what would be their 9th consecutive defeat. Albert Pujols to start the 8th. Rick Ankiel is on deck in Ludwig's spot. Slider low and outside, ball 1. 3-2 Cubs. PA retreating. And he makes the catch, and the Cubs hope that's the last time Pujols bats today, at least in game 1. With a nightcap later on.
I vote for all day myself, but I'm pretty sure we're going to see Big Albert again.
A big hand for Rick Ankiel. Subbing for Ludwig. Dropped in beautifully for a strike. Took something off that slider. runs, 29 RBIs in just 31 games. Check swing, and he went around. The throw to first is in time. Giovanni Soto had to go get that ball. Just a slight hesitation from Ankiel. They did appeal down to third base. Tim McClellan said he went after it. Soto able to throw him out.
That's one of the toughest plays for a catcher, to go to the backstop as fast as you can to get to that ball, pick it up, and then throw flat-footed onto first base from way back there in front of the backstop. You see that slight hesitation by Ankiel before he breaks for first base. Still some confusion as he started down the first baseline, but no hesitation on the part of Giovanni Soto. Nice play.
Edmonds has reached on a 2-run double and also an error.
Well, a good pitch. Carlos Marmol going to the back door with that slider. Started it off the plate away, just nipped the outside corner.
And depending on how this 8th plays out, it will be interesting to see how Lou starts the bottom of the 9th. Now, they originally on the board had a double switch, but now that has been changed. So Marmol in the 9th spot and not in Darrell Ward's position. So that does change things. Jock Jones hitting 5th today will lead off the 9th.
Well, I like the fact that Lou doesn't automatically double switch when he brings a relief pitcher into a ball game late, along with a defensive player. In the case of today, Felix Piet. I mean, pitcher spot due up 5th here in the top half of the 9th for the Cubs, and when you get down to that spot, if you make the double switch, you're locked into that player hitting in that spot, which in this case would be Felix Piet. But if you get down to that spot, there happens to be a left-hander on the mound, you might want to go to Matt Merton or Craig Monroe or one of your right-handed pinch hitters off the bench. So given the fact that usually you're only going to ask for 1 inning out of Carlos Marmol, I like the idea that you leave him in that 9th spot. That way you can pick your pinch hitter.
Yadier Molina out in the deep left. Soriano's on the warning track, reaching his hand back, but lots of room. Little hop, skip, and the jump for the 3rd out. Here comes the 9th. The Cubs try to tack on like they did last night, leading by 1.
Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. With more flights to more places than ever before, Southwest is taking low fares even farther. Visit southwest.com.
With convenient flights every day, Southwest Airlines gives you the freedom to do business out of town and still come home at night.
Winston, I'm home!
Fly one of Southwest's 11 daily nonstops from Chicago Midway to the San Francisco Bay Area for just $99, including new service to San Francisco International.
You are now free to move about the country.
You can never have too many people on your side. Right there when you need them most. And now, 2 names committed to improving senior health are there for you, too. Introducing AARP Medicare Complete, provided through Secure Horizons, the only Medicare Advantage plan with the AARP name on it. AARP and Secure Horizons are committed to seniors and all Medicare beneficiaries, and we'd like to send you a free educational guide, Medicare Advantage Explained. To get yours, call today. Together, we can help you get more from your Medicare benefits.
I've known Secure Horizons by United Healthcare for years. Medicare health plans are their specialty. And now with AARP, I'm expecting even better things to come.
be at your side. There's no need to worry.
AARP Medicare Complete, provided through Secure Horizons. Call now for your free guide.
What would your parents do if there were two of you? Why wonder? Watch Sister Sister. It's 2 times everything, and now it's on 5 days a week.
Weekdays at 5 on Superstation WGN.
Looks like Ryan Dempster is going to jump right back into the 9th today. Remember last night he came into a non-save situation and certainly challenged the Cardinals a lot more with his fastball. Might see a different approach today if it's only a 1-run lead. But you never know what's going to happen in the top of the 9th. Randy Flores, a lefty, in to face Jock Jones. Probably will match up. Tony La Russa has Russ Springer available with DeRosa on deck. Caught the corner. 45,918. The game 1 attendance. Line past Ryan. Into center for a base hit. And here comes La Russa. So veteran right-hander Russ Springer will come on when we return. Runner on, nobody out.
Thanks, folks. I gotta get going. Cindy, keep my plane ready a little later. We're not finished yet. Cindy, I got stuck on a client call. Cindy, something else just came up. Oh, yeah. Hey, Cindy.
Your plane is ready.
Thanks, Cindy. You're the best.
With so many convenient nonstop flights, you'll feel like you have your own company plane. You can count on Southwest Airlines to get you there on time with friendly customer service.
You are now free to move about the country.
Tommy.
Marco?
Looking good.
I thank you.
Love the jacket.
Do you?
Yes.
$90.
What?
Ooh, nice shoes.
$50.
I'm proud of you.
Love the hair.
Oh, yeah, my cousin does it. $20.
Very nice.
Nice tie.
Thanks for thinking my tie's nice.
What'd you spend on that?
$12.
Double cheeseburger, $1.
McDonald's melty, beefy double cheeseburger.
I'll give you $2.
3.
What, are you made of money?
Just one of the extravagant choices on the dollar menu. Are you a dollar millionaire?
And here come our River Dogs.
Team Spirit, Beer, and Intrigue kick off the new hockey season.
I'm here to see if you'd be interested in playing golf for the Saints.
I'm a dog through to the core. What makes you think?
Unlimited bar tab.
I'm listening.
Oh, and the River Dogs still don't have a coach.
You don't have a coach. You need a coach. I can coach.
A lot of teams have them now, even in the NHL.
Well, practicing is good in theory. In reality, it just tires us out.
Who's your mommy?
Corner Gas. Sneak peek today at 4 Eastern.
Right-hander Russ Springer will make his 70th appearance. Low opponent's batting average. He's only given up 37 hits in over 58 innings.
Well, this is a guy that just seemingly gets better every year. He was kind of a journeyman type middle reliever throughout most of his career. A guy that usually gave up a lot of hits, had trouble consistently finding the strike zone, but the light bulb has gone on here late in his career. He's been a nice piece for Tony La Russa in that Cardinal bullpen.
Well, the numbers back you up. In 2005 with Houston, he had a .473. Last year, a .347, and this year a .230. Check on Jones, who just singled to start the inning. Springer is 38 years old, 6'4", 225. Bunted foul by DeRosa. The other thing to think about with Carlos Marmol, at this point, Bob Howery getting a respite in game 1. Marmol threw 12 pitches in his inning of work, and the throw, Jock will be out.
Yeah, that's a head.
Not look like a straight steal.
Head scratcher right there. Somebody may have missed a sign. We don't know that for sure. And DeRosa showing bunt all the way at the plate. He took the high inside fastball, but Jones was running on the pitch and is thrown out by a wide margin at second base by Molina.
He's now over 50%. Molina in that caught stealing department. But back to Marmol. Well, we'll see if needed, would Lou use him in game 2?
Now, those young guys tend to bounce back a lot quicker than the older veteran players, so I'm sure Marmol will tell Lou that absolutely he can pitch in game 2 if needed.
And there is a good chance the Cubs will have to use their bullpen a lot more in game 2 than game 1. Saying nothing about Sean Marshall and how he will pitch, but this will be his first start since August 31st. So to expect him to go 7+, which he didn't do a lot even when he was in the rotation, a bit unrealistic. I'd like to get 5 or 6 out of Sean, and hopefully quality innings.
Well, ideally, Sean will be throwing a lot of quality strikes, but more than anything else, I think the approach of the Cardinals will determine how deep he can get into the ball game if he is throwing strikes. As we mentioned against Zambrano last night, a lot of first and second pitch hacking allowed Lou to use his ace deep into the ball game last night.
An infield pop. And it lands in the glove of Aaron Miles. So all of a sudden, 2 gone with nobody on. In the bottom of the 9th, Cairo due to lead off. Then a pinch hitter, followed by Brendan Ryan. Probably you'll see Russell Branyan at some point, maybe Skip Schumacher from the left side. They have Scott Spezio, switch hitter. A couple of late inning home runs in this series, big ones for the Cubs. The home run ball has been probably the biggest key offensively for this team here in the final month.
It's not like they've been real successful in their attempts to manufacture runs. We've seen some of the batters have trouble getting down sacrifice bunts from time to time. We saw 3 successful sacrifice bunts in 3 successive innings in Houston, and on all 3 times the Cubs were not able to push that run across. But when you can whack that ball up in the seats every now and again, it tends to put all that behind you.
Cubs only have 5 hits, but the Cardinals have just 4. It's been a pitcher's day for the most part. Two-run homer by Soriano in the 8th inning, giving the Cubs the advantage. It was off Ryan Franklin. That's it for the Cubs in the 9th. Well, hang on. Here we go. Cubs leading by a run. It'll be Ryan Dempster to try to close them out.
The the real Justin and Kelly.
Just a small country girl with a great opportunity.
Their whole story has never been told until now. The rarely seen home movies, behind the scenes bloopers, American Idol Rewind.
Sunday at 8 on Superstation WGN.
Step up to a beer brewed longer. Step up to exceptional taste that's never filling. $99 calories, 0 grams of fat. Budweiser Select. Step up.
I'm thinking of a number. Do you know what it is? It's 20 million. That's how many people have already checked their free Experian credit report at freecreditreport.com for some very good reasons.
Now we can monitor all 3 of our national credit reports every day.
It helps us save money and check for potential identity theft.
I got my credit report and credit score online in seconds.
Isn't it time to get your free credit report and score? Well, log on now to freecreditreport.com.
Offer applies with Roman Triple Advantage.
Well, the battery's good, so I figure it's the alternator. So I go down to AutoZone, and the guy says, well, let's test it first. Might not be a problem. Turns out it's just a bad cable. You know, with AutoZone, piece of cake.
Well, I got 2 words for you. Boycott.
Hank, if you had the power to put companies out of business by just not being a customer, why am I still able to buy mouthwash?
And deodorant. Clean underwear. Pickup trucks.
You don't know what we're doing, do you, Dad?
Shut up.
Well, Ryan Dempster's trying to save it for Kerry Wood. It would be Kerry's first big league win since May 29th of 2006. The Cubs leading by a run, 3-2. Well, 2 guys we theorized might make an appearance here in the 9th, both left-handed hitters, and Brannon's going to lead it off for Cairo.
It's kind of surprising the order here. I thought we might see Schumacher first and then Brannion following, just in case Schumacher would reach. Brannion, the guy more likely to hit a home run, but Tony knows his team better than I do.
Chance for the Cubs for their 4th consecutive win. Swing and a miss. And it would be the 9th consecutive loss for the Cardinals. A couple of good breaking pitches, 2 strikes. If Kerry Wood wins it, it will be his first career win in relief. 71 wins, all as a starter. Struck him out. Dempster has not thrown a fastball today. Didn't need one against Brannion.
Well, Brannion just waving at those off-speed pitches.
Those were all splitters, I believe.
I think that, yeah, especially that last one, kind of fading down and away. Good arm motion. Big first out here in the 9th.
Swing and a miss. That was a heater to Schumacher. Dribbled foul. Well, Ryan Dempster has bounced back extremely well when he has struggled this year.
I'll tell you, to his credit, I mean, he takes those losses and those blown saves as tough as anybody you can imagine. But by the time he gets back to the ballpark the next day, He's adjusted his attitude. He's ready to go back out there and be the guy, and fully expects to do well. And that's the attitude closers have to have. They're not going to get them all. They're not going to save every game. They're not going to be on top of their stuff every day.
Still 1-2 on Schumacher.
Lewis just checking that lineup card. How many times a game does a manager walk over to check that lineup card? It never changes.
Two balls, two strikes. The pitch, it's full. The 3-2. Soriano's over. 2 outs. Nice catch by Alfonso. The producer of Cubs baseball on WGN Sports is Pete Thomas. Skip Ellison is our director. Mark Brady, our associate producer. The executive producer of WGN Sports is Bob Borwald. Thanks as well to our stage manager in the booth, Kerry Garcia, our studio coordinator back at WGN, Christina Ballas, and the rest of our crew here in St. Louis. And how about this? This is a surprise. Chris Duncan. There was concern he might be done for the year with a sports hernia, but he's going to pinch hit. He was not on their lineup card, but he never went to the DL. And a called strike. One and one. Son of Dave Duncan, the pitching coach. Two now. And the game notes, it said he returned to St. Louis Monday during the middle of their trip and will rest for 10 days as a result of a sports hernia. Here he is, pinch hitting. 1-2 from Dempster inside.
Soriano extremely deep in left field, as is Felix PA in center. I think Jock Jones probably ought to back up a couple more in right.
Swing and a miss. Cubs win. Ryan Dempster comes right back, picks up the save. He goes 1-2-3. How about that one? A come from behind 3-2 win. Soriano with a game-winning home run. And the Cubs have won 4 in a row. The first 2 in this series. They're 2 up on Milwaukee, and they have knocked the Cardinals to 7 games out.
Well, it's going to be tough for the Cardinals to bounce back. Even if they end up winning the last 2 games of this series, the Cubs have accomplished what they wanted to do on this road trip. The rest is gravy from this point forward, but man, that Cubs ball club right now playing with a lot of confidence, a lot of resiliency. They feel like they're never out of a ball game, and you want to talk about resiliency. When Ryan Dempster comes back and closes out a ball game in the convincing fashion that he did today, that's a great sign.
3-2 the final. We'll be back to St. Louis in a moment.
Step up to a beer brewed longer. Step up to exceptional taste that's never filling. $99 calories, 0 grams of fat. Budweiser Select. Step up.
Tommy.
Marco?
Looking good.
I thank you.
Love the jacket.
Do you?
Yes.
$90.
What?
Ooh, nice shoes.
$50.
I'm proud of you.
Love the hair.
Oh, yeah, my cousin does it. $20.
Very nice.
Nice tie.
Thanks for thinking my tie's nice.
What'd you spend on that?
$12.
Double cheeseburger, $1.
McDonald's melty, beefy double cheeseburger.
I'll give you $2.
3.
What, are you made of money?
Just one of the extravagant choices on the dollar menu. Are you a dollar millionaire?
When it comes to powerful congestion relief, my choice is Clear. I get Claritin Clear with Claritin D.
Some allergy decongestants change their formulas. Claritin D chose not to change.
For terrible sinus pressure, my choice is Clear. Claritin D.
Nothing works stronger, faster, or longer to relieve your worst allergy symptoms, including congestion and sinus pressure, without drowsiness.
For the worst allergies, I want a product with the best decongestant. My choice is Clear. Claritin D.
Get Claritin D at the pharmacy counter. Still no prescription needed.
Live Claritin Clear.
Women seem to be coming on to me in an unusual manner.
You have sex with someone and then they find their true love.
That's ridiculous.
I guess you are a lucky charm.
This Friday.
Best up about this charm.
No, it's not me.
The man everyone wants only wants her.
What makes you think I'll be kissing you?
Dane Cook.
Kim's the one man.
Jessica Alba.
Now?
Wait till I get this.
Good Luck Chuck. Rated R. In theaters Friday.
Chicago Cubs baseball brought to you by Budweiser, who thanks you for being a designated driver. Comcast. Catch more Cubs home games in HD on Comcast Digital Cable. Call 1-888-4-BEST-TV today. The Illinois Lottery. No matter how you play the Illinois Lottery. Have a ball. By Pepsi. Your world, your Pepsi. And by Southwest Airlines. Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, Southwest can get you there with over 3,000 nonstop daily flights to over 60 destinations. Visit southwest.com today.
For the Chicago Cubs, 3 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors, 4 left. For the St. Louis Cardinals, 2 runs, just 4 hits, no errors, 7 stranded. Kerry Wood picks up his first major league win as a reliever. He's 1-1. Ryan Franklin drops to 4-4 with a loss. Ryan Dempster with his 27th save. It took 2 hours and 47 minutes to complete. In front of 45,918. The Cubs back to 500 in one-run games, believe it or not, 21-21. Our Budweiser play of the game, the game-winning home run.
26th of the season for Alfonso Soriano. That's our play of the game. Don't forget Ted Lilly, though, did a great job of keeping the Cubs in this ball game after giving up 2 quick runs in the first inning to the Cardinals. Real good team effort today.
Well, our next broadcast of Cubs baseball on WGN Sports will be tomorrow afternoon from right here at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. Cubs and the Cardinals will wrap up this series and the season series. The Cubs have won 10 against just 4 losses. We'll hit the air at 1 o'clock Central Time for a road edition of the Leadoff Man Show. Jason Marquis, the former Redbird, against left-hander Mark Mulder, who attended Thornwood High. Our 60th year of bringing you Cubs baseball on WGN Sports. Baseball like it ought to be. Cubs will go for the doubleheader sweep later tonight. Ryan Dempster, calm, cool, and collected in the 9th. Going 1-2-3 with 2 strikeouts, and the Cubs beat the Cardinals 3-2. So now for Bob Brenly, Pete Thomas, Skip Ellison, Mark Brady, Bob Borwald, and our entire crew, this is Len Casper saying goodbye from Missouri. Don't forget, Sox will host the Angels at 6 o'clock tonight. Right here on WGN Sports, Jim Thome goes for historic number 500. See you tomorrow.
Another good thing about Geico is they've got, like, real live people working there 24/7. So, like, say you need to report a claim, right? A real person will be there to help you. Then you can use Geico.com to view photos of the damage, track your claim, print an estimate. You want an English muffin? They literally hand you a toasted muffin with butter and jam. Oh, it's tasty. That's a complete dramatisation, of course, but you get my point.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
You can never have too many people on your side. Right there when you need them most. And now, two names committed to improving senior health are there for you, too. Introducing AARP Medicare Complete, provided through Secure Horizons, the only Medicare Advantage plan with the AARP name on it. AARP and Secure Horizons are committed to seniors and all Medicare beneficiaries, and we'd like to send you a free educational guide, Medicare Advantage Explained. To get yours, call today. Together, we can help you get more from your Medicare benefits.
I've known Secure Horizons by United Healthcare for years. Medicare health plans are their specialty. And now with AARP, I'm expecting even better things to come.
I'll be at your side. There's no need to worry.
AARP Medicare Complete, provided through Secure Horizons. Call now for your free guide.
America's Funniest Home Videos. Weeknights starting at 7.